it. Compress it, man. 3.5 hours. Do this together, man. It starts with us. It ends with us.
Hey, no cheers! We got.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for coming.
Man, gang on me, gang on three. 1, 2, 3, gang.
Gang, what up?
What up? Yeah, we're back. It's Bart, Bay Area Raider Talk. And the very first person that jumped on the Bart was from Pizzle Channel. Shout out to Dark.
What up,
Hey,
Dark?
we
Good to see
streaming
you.
from Pizzle Channel. I finally finessed him into doing it, y'all. I finally finessed him into doing it. He's one of them selfless guys, man. Forget what you heard. He's selfless, and like I said, thank you for being the person that you are. Not the Raider content creator, not the person you are online. Thank you for being the person you are. So, man, we are streaming from your channel. I'm very happy about that. So, we gonna get into it. What's good with it? What's good with you, Dark?
Hold on a second. Let me ask my boy Dark something. Hey, man, I'm sorry to hear about your uncle, bro. I don't know what happened. I just know something happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but I tried to hit you up on IG because that's the only way I could have got a hold of you, but I wasn't able to do so. But my deepest condolences to you and your family, bro. Over your
man,
uncle,
for sure.
Robert Pena, bro. For sure.
Yeah, I didn't know him like that, but I knew him online, and I knew a lot of people love him. And yeah, prayers to your family for strength and all that, man, for sure, man. So we appreciate all he did, man. So make sure we keep rocking on like for him, because this is gonna be a special year. It's gonna be a special year, man. A lot of people gonna miss it. I was thinking about that the other day, like while I was watching that the episode 2 to Behind the Shield. I kind of was feeling a little emotional. Yes, Black does get emotional at the right times, and I was just thinking that my dad is going to miss this because, he was a diehard. He was a diehard. I was born into this. Raider Twine was good. He pulling up. What's good with Raider Twine?
Twan.
What's good, fam?
Man, good to have you, brother.
Yeah, good to have you, man.
Yeah, so man, we gonna get into the camps have started now. Everybody's in camp. Today was a short camp day, but they did have some people come out and talk. We had Tyler Lindenbaum, we had the infamous cousin Kirk Cousins, and then we had Mad Max. I mean, Janoko spoke too, but we want to hear what the players got to say. I'll listen to Janoko on my own accord. So we're gonna listen to what they talking about, and we're gonna kind of revisit what we heard last night from Coach Koob. He set the tone, and if you guys notice, they put the head coach first, and then it looks like that they kind of put like the captains. It's like Max, like I told you guys, Kirk Cousins was going to be a captain of this team. I told y'all that a long time ago. So did Pizzle. And I even heard Quan even tell people, like, whether he agree with it or not, that this is what it is because this is just the realism. And so they got him and Tyler Lindenbaum. I was wondering if he was going to be a captain because I'm sure Colton is a captain. But that's why I said we got 2 anchors on that line because on a yacht, you got 2 anchors. In a big yacht, you got to have 2 anchors, and we got that. So it was good to see them guys talk today. So we're gonna see what they say and go from there. What's up with you, Jack Gustav? Man, they was going crazy in that chat though. I ain't gonna lie. This is the first time I watched the presser and was in the chat. They was going in on Mitchell Renz. They was going in on. They was going. They was going in on each other. I was promoting the channel. It was almost like I was like, this is kind of like some Raider stuff that I'm used to. Getting down to the get down, it was gritty.
Yeah, we get a little it gets a little grimy around here sometimes.
Yeah, man. I mean, Mitchell was standing on his square, like, I ain't gonna get all into that, but he really was trying to stand on his square. I don't necessarily agree with what he say. I respect his grind though, and I respect any content creator that's on that grind. So, man, that's why we got Pizzle linked in. We got Pizzle linked in on the channel, y'all. So I'm really happy and excited about that. Y'all just don't even know. Man, what's up with you, Jason? What's up with Raiders First Down? Man, we got something in
Well,
store for y'all. I hope y'all ready for it. I'm gonna talk about it later after we do a little bit of the show because I know y'all want to get to it. We got a lot of shows to do today. A lot of people going on live because they're excited because the start of training camp. Let me ask, Twan, were you able to watch the Kubiak last night on his for this presser?
I did dive into it, you know what I'm saying? And I also watched it again to make sure what I heard was what I heard. But
Okay,
we
cool.
can get into it, man.
Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna do some high points of that, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are already seen it. And what's up with my boy Frank Webb?
whatever.
Man,
It's cracking.
it's so like one of the first things that they talked about was the team first approach, removing the I from the verbiage. One thing um when you have a team, you got to have one heartbeat. I mean, those are like mantras you hear when you play on the team. You got to have one heartbeat. Take the I out of it, and like for me, it's like take the me out of it and turn that M around to a we. So take the we out of it. I mean, me out of it, and make it a we. And I think that's the kind of culture that we're building because it's always kind of been like that. Even when it came to the quarterback room, they never really isolated one quarterback until last night, and that was just to highlight something. It wasn't even to isolate them. So I'm happy to hear Coach Kubiak say that, because that's where it starts. You want to be able to play for each other. You don't want to be selfish. You want to be selfless. That's the way you win championships. Like you got to put your differences to the side. If you want to have a winning culture and you want to have a winning attitude and mentality, you got to take the I out of it. So, what do you guys think about that? You got any comments about that?
Yeah, I think he's just making it plain what the foundation is, right? This is a new head coach, you know what I'm saying, that's coming in. They're trying to understand who he is, and he's trying to understand who they are.
Right.
So with that being said, he needs to say, hey, these is the you know what I'm saying? Not trying to be too spiritual about it, but these is the 10 commandments of what we gonna do. These is the rules and guidelines on how we gonna move forward, however long we are gonna be together. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we know NFL is not for long. So you can be out, out of here too. You know what I'm saying? As quick as a phone call. So he's just setting the foundation, and I'm glad that he's trying to establish that. We don't need no egos. We don't need no guys that are shooting just to get their numbers. You know what I'm saying? We need guys that are trying to get wins. And sometimes when you trying to get wins, you may not get your yardage. You know what I'm saying? But you get the win, and that's what it all that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? Is the win.
Fizzle? Or no?
Yeah, yeah. I think that he's just like Twan said, touched on a little bit. He's just letting, and it's not even that he is putting it down like the Ten Commandments because that's what he is. You know what I mean? He's a very spiritual guy. He bought everybody Bibles. He did all these things. So you know what I mean? So he is putting down a law, and and there is no I in team, but like he said, there is an M and an E, and you got to turn that into a we because the selfishness is what eats the team from the inside out. That's what erodes it. That's what starts the cancer. When I'm not getting enough attention, I'm not getting enough throws. It's not, I'm not getting this. That's not, you can't be like that. You got to just be patient and do it when it's your number comes up. You got to step up.
Yeah. Like they say, do your 111s. Like, do
Yeah.
your part, do your job. And it's dope that you said that because I always think about that when Kobe said it ain't no I in team, but it's a M and an E in that mug.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say, we got to turn that M and an E to a W and an E. like turn that me into we, because we're not going to win it by ourselves. Basketball is a little different because there's 5 players. On this, you got 22 players you got to count for, plus the 3 extra special team players, the holder, the kicker, and the long snapper. So, and the punter. You feel me? So, hey, so yeah, I'm really on board with that, and I really love how you put that together, Twine, like the 10 Commandments, because that is essentially what it is. Because the first person to act up is the first person gonna get drug out, and I hope Max really take this to heart too, because that means you too, bro. That means you too. If they want you to come off the field, come off the field, bro. If they want you to stop hitting the quarterback and stop bullying everybody during certain periods of practice, you need to stop doing that. I used to be like. It's funny and it's cool because it does test your teammates and it makes them tougher. But if the head coach, no, not necessarily head coach, well, it should be. But if Kubiak is saying stop, then I'm like, stop, bro, because he really trying to get some things honed in. Like, make us tougher after we've been playing together for like a year or two. You know what I'm saying? Then you might want to enforce that, but don't try to enforce your will. But we'll get into Max later. I just thought about that he needs to really chill on that, because when I heard him talking about that today, I was like, yeah, it might be time for you to chill on that.
And there needs to be one chef. You know what I'm saying? And that chef is Kubiak. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no one else stirring pots at this point. It's really up to Kubiak on what ingredients he wants to put together and how, you know what I'm saying? And you got to let that chef cook. And if you come in trying to be a chef while Kubiak's trying to be a chef, that ain't gonna help the situation. And I'm glad you said something about Maxx Crosby, because I can get a little deeper into that, but I'm gonna let bro live today. You know what I'm saying? There is some situations where we need to focus on the team and not just personal accolades.
Yeah, I agree, because stats only tell a story. It doesn't tell the story, and a lot of times we do get caught up in stats a little too much. But I do want Max to do his thing, but not at the detriment of the team.
Yep. Running around with your shirt up, showing off your tattoos all the time. I don't know. That doesn't really.
Well, we gonna get into that, because that struck me too as well. So the next thing he was talking about was they asked him about the health of everybody, and Kubiak essentially said, "Look, everybody's practicing, so that don't necessarily mean that everybody healthy. But what he's saying is, this is what I heard, that look." The people that was marginally injured or that need to recuperate, we didn't make y'all do OTAs. We gave y'all a whole 3 weeks off so y'all can get y'all mind right, y'all emotions right, y'all spirit right, y'all family right, all that. So once y'all show up, the expectation is here. Now, if you want to take mental reps over there, you probably gonna end up staying over there. You know what I'm saying? So look, if you're injured or whatever, and you're not on a program already that they have slated for you, then it's going to be a ding or a knock against you. So I heard him say that everyone is practicing, and that's the expectation, because the expectation is the expectation.
Yeah, I can agree to that. I mean, if you're supposed to be doing, they gave him that little break, like you said. It's go time right now. I don't want to hear oh, well, my wife's having a baby in the middle of the season. Like that's
Right.
Not like you're not allowed to have kids or nothing, but that's a pretty big distraction. I don't care what people do, what they do. It's like, this is a job too. You know what I mean? And it's got to be taken. And if you're trying to win, you got to take it seriously. You can't just be fiddling around and having other steps that you want to do on the side. You got the whole off season to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think, and I think everybody, and just to my opinion and the way I feel about things is, I think everybody, even before OTAs and all that stuff, I think everybody, that wasn't there had a legit reason, you know what I'm saying, for the reasons why they weren't there. And I think, just him saying that everybody's there, at camp, that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm glad that everybody's in the building in whatever capacity they are. We know right now everybody's not full. We know the people that were injured and situations like that. So we know that, yeah, there might be still some nagging, situations with some guys, but they're in the building, and that's the thing that you want. We don't want you, like you said, we don't want anybody just taking random vacations during times that they're definitely have to be there. So I'm cool with everything that has been said. I'm cool with everything that has happened before. You know what I'm saying? I know some people have different, of opinions on that, but that's perfectly fine. But yeah, everybody's in the building, and everybody should be in the building, no matter what condition they're in.
Well, for me, the most important part is that they're in the building and they're healthy. You know what I mean? That's where we need to be at, and that's the most important thing. That's what we haven't gone over this enough. I think we've gone over plenty of those. Getting the Maxx those last 2 games off, because to me it was crucial, because without those 2 games, we're looking at them 2-3 weeks or maybe even a month out, even further than we are right now. So, I don't know. I'm just thankful that we got that out there. You know what I mean? That we got them locked down early, and regardless of whether or not we planned on being here or not, it was the right thing to do.
And not only that, it just shows that we're putting these guys in the best position to succeed. And if they don't, it's not the top, it's the bottom. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And even further, like we just talked about how Kubiak, and he's still doing it because it's early, but Kubiak is trying to set the foundation. So if you're a player and you're not trying to get that foundation, knowing that the foundation is the ruling for everything involved and how you run things and how you conduct things, then maybe this ain't the team for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you build a house if you ain't got the foundation? So if the players ain't coming in to get the foundation, then hey, you know what I'm saying, you could be on the next flight out of here.
Yeah, I think that's why they brought in that's why character was a big thing as far as who the type of players that they were bringing in. And so if you're going to have high character, then those things are expectations that's not outside the realm of what can be done, because that's the expectation for everybody, including Kubiak and the staff. So that was a beautiful thing about that. What's up with my brother?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. First down. I remember we used to be at the Coliseum when they get the first downs. They just go 1, 2, 3, first downs. I used to love that. But what's up, brother? I mean, have you heard what we talking about? We just got started, so.
I just popped in about 5-10 minutes ago. Was seeing what you were doing, and I know we talked a little bit about the Friday stuff that you were talking about, and that's super exciting, man. I'd love to join in on that, be a part of that, and
we're gonna get that done. I'm juiced about that. Yeah. So what do you think about so far about Kubiak when he's talking about the health and the expectation coming into the season?
Well, first of all, the health is really good. I was just watching the Cincinnati Bengals lost Shamar Stewart for the year. You don't want to see that play. That was Joe Theismann-esque.
So, did he is that the guy that blew out his ACL, MCL, the meniscus? He blew out like everything.
He's lucky his twig's still attached to his body. That's how bad it was.
Oh my Jesus!
Yeah, it was bad.
Wow. I would kind of dive in a little deeper on that. I think sometimes karma plays itself. Wasn't he the same one that was holding out in negotiations and trying to play the Bengals for sitting out and stuff? Well, sometimes when you play around, that's what you get. What they say, if you play around, you get tricks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's that.
Yep. But hey, shout out to Pizzle, man. I get to meet the guy
Hey, how you
instead
doing?
of in the text boxes, man. What's up, brother? How you
Yep.
doing?
How you been? Nice to meet
Doing
you.
all right. Doing all right.
Good.
Antoine too. I
That's
can't
dope.
forget you, Twan.
It's all
That's
good, man.
dope.
All love, man.
So, and Jeremiah, so speaking of catastrophic injuries, a lot of people are concerned with Jeremiah McCoy's. I call him J Mac. Um, about his situation. I'm not concerned about his situation because I've kind of understood what the injury actually is. And if you guys haven't, I definitely have a very detailed video on my page about that. And it kind of clears up everything. And Dr. Johnson, they call him the Babe Ruth of doctors of those kind of surgeries. And he essentially said that the Raider Nation should be very excited about this situation and this kid. And we definitely got a steal here. So they said Jermaine's going to come in and he's going to get some reps off the bat, but they understand that he has been out a year. And that's one thing I said, like, even if he wasn't like as injured as projected or whatnot, if you don't play for a year, you kind of don't know where you are. Now, that don't mean you lose all your skills, but you do have to build up that muscle memory, and you got to build up your endurance, and you got to work your way back into football shape. So, how do you guys feel about your mind this offseason? Because they say you're going to get rep with the ones, but they're going to bring him in and monitor him.
I guess I'll go first. I'm not too concerned about him being with the 2s and the 3s. Just like you said, it's been 18 months since he's played any real football, any meaningful football, whether practice or game. So bringing him along second, third team reps, there's nothing wrong with that. What really surprised me is he with the Manassas kid from Cal running with the ones. That sounded really cool. I was like,
yeah, I think people gonna get their chance to. I think people gonna get their chance to shine. I mean, if you like I said, I'm not so much concerned about who starts because to me it's about packages. Who thrive in what package? Because in certain downs and situations, Coach Rob gonna rely on certain things. That's why they say whatever it is that you do, when we put you in the game, do that. And do it at a high level. So that way when we put you in the game, we know what to expect from you. We don't expect you to do everything like Keyron Crawford, mental reps. We don't expect him to go in there and be Max right now. If you come off the edge like your hair on fire and you causing havoc, don't go in there and try to be the ultimate run stopper. Go in there. I'm not saying don't go stop the run. I'm just saying, but just know when we putting you in, they put you in the game, they want you to come around that edge and bring that fire. They want you to bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Jamal McCoy, I've been on, since we drafted him, that I wasn't concerned about his injury situation. Obviously, we have to trust not just trust our coaches, but we got to trust our medical staff. And if they signed off on it and said, yeah, we want him, let's go ahead and get him. And I also said at the same time, yeah, we would love to have him for 10 years, but hey, if he can be a starter for us for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? That's better than nothing, especially coming out of the 4th round. Now, I've seen his tape. I think that he's probably, in conversation of maybe being one of the top corners in our room, just starting off based on his talent. Now, he's in a situation where, they've kind of babysitted him, and they're going to continue to kind of monitor him because they do got Guerrero and all the other guys that are going to be monitoring him and all the metrics that they got to monitor him. So I'm not really concerned about it. He's just going to have to jump on the bike and get out there and compete and do his thing. And they're going to just they are saying, go ahead and go. Go ahead and go, and we'll be concerned about it later. So I'm not concerned about him. Whether he's the right now, the way I'm looking at it, we got an open spot on the opposite side of Stokes. It may be McCoy. We'll see. But at this point, I just want him to get out there and test it out and see where he's at. And who knows? He might be opposite side of Stokes.
Like they say, a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah,
Bro,
I think he's definitely got a chance to
Ah, my
my
bad,
only
Pizzle.
issue my only issue is is he going to feel comfortable on that injury right away? I think they're been slowly working him into that over this training camp and the OTAs and stuff. But you still got to be able to do that side to side motion, and when you tear that ACL, that's your power, where your drive, right? Because you can't really drive without your push off without your ACL. So
Yeah.
he's got to be able to trust that, and get used to, because if he overuses it, I think that's why we're, real cautious in the OTAs with him, because you don't want to blow out the other one because he's over, compensating,
Compensating. Yeah.
Yeah.
overcompensating for the other one. So, you
Yeah.
know, I think that, and I think like Tuan said, he's definitely got a. If we can get 2, 3, 4 years out of him, that would be even better. But we just got to let this kid come along at his own pace. Let's not rush it because we need him for as long as we can. And I think, like Tuan said, I think he does have a chance to start on the other side and perform real good for us.
Yeah.
and I agree
Yeah.
with you because I think he has that, and they're using a lot of things that we are not even aware of. You know what I'm saying, to monitor. You know what I'm saying, his steps and all of that. So we got to trust. We were in what, the 1980s. You know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
a few years ago. We way futuristic with some of the stuff that they've been doing, even down to the way that they were drafting. We saw that, what I'm saying, in the episode of they using a whole lot of computer metrics and stuff like that to pick these players. So let's just trust the process, and again, they're in a situation where they're trying to let him go, and like you said, test out his body, and that's what camp is for. Hey, let's test this out so you can be confident in it. So by week 1 or whenever you feel you're really ready to go, you're off and running. So like I
Yeah.
said, if we can get a year or two out of him, even at from that, with him being a fourth round pick, how many fourth round picks actually really stay super long in the NFL? You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep the metrics there. So if
Yeah.
we get a good couple of years out of this guy, hey, it's a win.
Yeah. I also to kind of add, the monitoring his recovery from each practice and these contact. You know what I mean? That's important. And these guys that they brought in and their health and wellness, they're sharp with that. And so after a couple, 3 practices, they'll probably pull him aside. They'll maybe do an MRI just to double check, see where he's at, his overall health is, and do some flexibility training with him. And then, get a good shot at, you know, how is that bone plug working? Is it something, because everything that I gathered pre-draft, that bone plug surgery thing wasn't so much today or next year, but it's
Mm.
3, 4, 5 years down the road. And when you commit that first round draft pick, it's a 5-year plan. And so a lot of people, and just like you said, Twan, how many fourth round picks have a long career? We cut fourth round picks all the time. It's not, you know what I mean? So to get him in the first pick of the fourth round is a gem, and there's 31 other NFL teams out there going, crap.
Really though.
Well, to get
Mhm.
back to to how serious the injury is to even Phantom, like Twan said, we're back in the '80s where we're from. Like this injury would end your career basically in
Yeah.
the
Oh
late
yeah.
'70s and the early '80s. You'd be
Yeah.
done. They didn't
Yeah.
really start coming out with this technology until like rebuilding your knee and stuff until like 88, 89, 90,
Yeah.
Right.
91. Right around the time when Jerry Rice blew his knee out. I mean, the guy who
Yeah.
did Jerry Rice's knee is about 15 minutes from me in San Bruno.
Yeah.
My guy who blew his ACL out had the same doctor do his, and he's got a wall full of people that he did.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
like Bo Jackson's injury, his hip displacement injury that he had, where it severed the blood vessels, the supplying blood vessels.
Right.
Priest Holmes had the exact same injury, and came back and played 4 or 5 more and had Pro Bowl years after the exact same injury. They were able to, he was one of those when he had his injury that they really dug into the science of it and the medical of it and figured that there are some things that they can do, especially with cadavers and things like that to bring that tissue back to a healthy level.
Well, that's what they did with Aaron Rodgers, right? They gave him a cadaver ACL or something, right?
His Achilles.
Right. And I know
Yep.
somebody else has got somebody. I think somebody else got an ACL from him and ended up running faster. Was that Phillip Rivers or something?
Yeah.
I think it was a Charger or something. I can't remember, but one of these guys got a cadaver and ended up being faster after he got it.
Yeah.
ACL, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
You
I
want
don't
to
know
talk
about
about
that,
crazy? I was about to say, talking about crazy.
Yeah.
we gonna have a raffle, but none of y'all gonna have the real ticket.
Yeah, no one's gonna get the real
1K,
number
man,
on
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, so you guys make sure you guys hit the like button, man. Show the appreciation to the bar. Don't be a fare raider. Don't. You gotta pay your fare, man. Just hit the like button, man. And we got Pizzle. You can miss mine and go to Pizzle's channel and click likes on his because we're definitely trying to get him going. Because like I said, it took me a long time to get him to this point where he's on and he just really like, I'm like, bro, come on, bro, let's go because the season is hype, man, and you're a big part of it. So make sure y'all hit that like button
Yeah.
on all of our channels.
Yeah.
If the mods can put the people's channel up, each people's channel up if you can, if you don't mind. You had something to say? Oh, I
Who,
thought you were
me?
saying something. Yeah, I
No,
thought you
I
were
was
saying
just agreeing
something.
with you. Yeah.
So another thing they were talking about the competition, like the kicker competition, the guard competition. They're not gonna be in pads until like the sixth practice. They got like 12 practices. But one thing that Coach Kubiak reiterated was just because you start week 1, don't mean you're gonna start week 17. So it's gonna be a constant, ongoing competition. Um, and one thing he did say that stuck out to me, he said, like, for you guards, like, you got to be solid in the pass game, but excellent in the run game. Solid in the pass game, but excellent in the run game. So that tells me that we are prioritizing running, which I already kind of knew that because all the people that we have, like even Linderbaum, he's better at run blocking than pass blocking. Because if there is a knock on him, people are going to say it's the pass blocking. But Kubiak sets up the pass so well with the run that you don't have to be excellent at that. But what we are going to be is what Pizzle say. How we going to win the game? We gotta stop the run and we gotta be able to run the ball. And those are the things that's true. And I see that. So I'm very excited about that. What you think about that, Pizzle?
Yeah, I call it being, well, that's what a physical team really is. When someone says we want to be physical and we want to do this, we want to do that. In order to be physical, you got to be able to stop the run and you got to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more physical than putting your will and breaking the other man's will upon them. There's nothing more demoralizing as play after play after play after play. It just breaks them down, grinds them into the milestone. And then when we play, especially like if you're playing like a divisional team like the Chargers or the Chiefs or even the Donkeys, if you're doing that to them, then they're not looking forward to the next game because they know they're going to get demoralized again. That's the way. That's how we used to do these teams in the 70s and 80s. We used to grind them down. They wanted nothing to do with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in 1998, after a preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals at the Oakland Coliseum, we were fortunate enough, our tailgate crew, Coach Madden parked right next to us. And after the game, he came out and hung out with us because the parking lot was still kind of packed up and he wasn't going to be able to get out. His son was driving, but they just kind of waited a little bit, let the parking lot kind of ease out over on the 66th Avenue side. And one of the guys asked him a question. So, what do you think we need to do to get better? And this was Gruden's first year, and he ultimately said, he goes, you have to stop the run, and you have to be able to run the ball to be successful in the NFL, bar none. And it starts with that. If you can't do that, none of the other stuff is going to matter. So you have to stop the run, and you have to be able to run the ball. Until they change football, that's the way it's always going to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. So let me see. Oh, and of course, Fernando came up, and the question was about his progression. And let's take a look and see what they said, because uh, Kubiak kind of explains it and let it be known. I have to show some of these clips because I don't know what many of our fans are ignoring the signs or not hearing what Coach Kubiak is saying. So this is kind of spelled out for us what he's saying about when it comes to Fernando.
How do you chart growth for Fernando over the next several weeks? What are you looking for? What do you want to measure?
Well, it's not just charting picks and completion percentage. It is, we've put a lot on his plate in this offseason. We expect a lot out of him as these practices start coming. So the thing that stands out to me is, he's going to have plenty of adversity like his teammates. And how does he deal with it? Does he make the same mistake twice? How quickly can he correct himself? When he does make a mistake, what's his attitude like? What's his demeanor like? Those are really important things for quarterbacks.
You mentioned, being able to watch a veteran quarterback.
So, oh yeah, well, hold on. Actually, I want to probably play the rest of what they said here.
And learn through osmosis. How valuable has Kirk Cousins been so far for Fernando early on?
Yeah, I mean, I would say his value as a player on our team is the most important thing. His leadership, his veteran presence, the way that he played in the spring was excellent. So we brought him here to play really good football, and obviously the mentorship that's a byproduct of that. That's the kind of guy that Kirk is. But Kirk knows, and Fernando knows, and Aiden knows, and Jacob knows that they're here to play great football, and that's our job as coaches to get them ready for the other stuff.
I've been saying this for so many times that we might not know what's going on. I got a good idea of what's going on because I'm paying attention to all the little things in the coach speak. I know how to filter some of that stuff out and all that. But look, they know what their roles are, and they know what they're there to do. And he just essentially said, "Look, this guy's been phenomenal. He's doing what I expect him to do. The whole mentoring thing is a byproduct of what it is that he's doing, and he's pretty much taking control of the reins of our team." And Raider First Down, you said something really, really dope when we were on the show. There's a difference between what you say, a mentor, and there's a difference between how did that go when you said
A
that?
mentor and a tutor. Somebody that tutors is somebody that you're gonna go to them, and they're gonna sit down and they're gonna coach you slowly about all the questions on the test. Whereas the mentor is just gonna set the example, and it's up to you to follow that example and gain the knowledge through. And they've even said it in the building, osmosis. He's going to have to learn through osmosis. So you're not going to see Kirk Cousins in the middle of a game, in the middle of a drive on 2nd and 7, run over to the sideline and go, "Okay, now Fernando, write this down. This is what we're going to do on this play." That's not what mentoring is. Mentoring is just basically setting the example of how to prepare, how to execute, and how to play quarterback at the NFL level. So use and Fernando's even said it in one of his interviews, is when he makes mistakes, I got to learn from his mistakes as well, but also the positives of what he does, and I got to really absorb that.
Yeah, that's really great how you put that together because that really makes sense. Go ahead, Twan, my bad.
No, and my brother's right. Like how many times, and I think we have to put it really break it down to 101, right? Fernando Mendoza is going to learn from Kirk Cousins' mistakes. Why? Because when after every Sunday, when they get back into that facility, what do? They all sit down together and they go over the mistakes. So we're going to see Fernando Mendoza is going to see, you know what I'm saying, when Kirk Cousins throws that pick or when Kirk Cousins does something that is a mistake. Because again, the QB coach and the offensive coordinator is going to say, hey, Kirk, this is what you did wrong. This is what I needed for you to do here. Blah, 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 blah. That's where Fernando Mendoza is actually going to learn from that situation. And let's break it all the way down even further than that. Remember, it goes back to what we said earlier today. Clint Kubiak is setting the foundation. He's not asking for his quarterbacks to go out there and be a coach. He's asking for them to be a quarterback. The coach's job is to teach the players on what they're supposed to do, not the players. So that's why he's like, hey, when I tell these quarterbacks to go out there, I'm asking for them to play. It's my job to teach them. And I'm saying, as Clint Kubiak, it's my job to be the coach. I'm not asking Kirk Cousins to be a coach. I'm asking for him to throw the heck out of the ball. And then everybody else on the depth chart put some fuel under that number one spot. That's the basics of what is being said. And he's setting the foundation to that.
And I'm going to take Twan. I'm going to elevate him on that as well with what you're saying right now. Is a negligent coach or a bad coach would be negligent in interfering with another player who's trying to do the coaching. It's when it's the coach's responsibility. Perfect example. If I as a head coach, this is just an example of hypotheticals, okay? Just learn from it. Is if I'm the head coach and I see my veteran quarterback trying to coach a specific topic to one of my younger quarterbacks, like he's coaching it like he's a coach, and my quarterback coach is not involved, number one, or number two, it's being taught wrong by the veteran quarterback, I would be negligent not getting on my quarterback coach saying, hey, why aren't you in the middle of that discussing that? That shouldn't be, Kirk Cousins shouldn't be the one teaching him that. That should be you teaching that.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, it goes back, like Twan said, let's rewind a little earlier, right? He says, Kubiak says, I love to be a teacher, right? I love to coach, and I love having relationships with my players, right? And then like Raider First Down said, Antoine said, we can go back to that, right? That's what he wants to do, right? He expects Fernando Mendoza to be watching Kirk Cousins and to be shadowing him and following his examples, not necessarily like being sat down like you were saying and being taught a certain thing. He just wants him to learn mannerisms and how to prepare for what's going to happen for next week and the things that he does. And so that's that's where we're at. That's what I think he expects out of the quarterback room, and he expects him to be watching him and then also be telling him, hey, I think you're doing this wrong, or maybe do this, maybe this way, or maybe in this situation I would do this, or and stuff like that. To critique him a little bit and let him, and just give him positive criticisms. I'd say.
And every one of us has had a job like that before, where we get hired, we're brand new on the job, but there's a guy that's working there that's been on there a long time, he's savvy, and he doesn't really teach you all the tricks of his trade, but you watch him. And then you pick up on it, and you just get little nuggets and little pieces. Basically, you're building your own toolbox. Is all you're doing. And that's all Fernando needs to do right now, just build his toolbox.
He said he wanted essentially teach them how to be a pro. It's not about the X's and O's so much. It's like, what is your mannerism like coming into the building every day? How do you accept criticism? How are you going to accept losing? How do you bounce back after losing a couple games? That's why if the Raider Nation start spazzing out because we lose 2 games in a row, like that's going to be the perfect time to show Mendoza how to approach that because you have a quarterback like Kirk Cousins. No, I got to come in with the same attitude. Maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to detail. Maybe I need to lock in more. And Mendoza's going to see that. Even Mendoza has even said it's not so much what he tells me and what I ask him, it's what I'm paying attention to as other people are talking to him.
Yep.
Like a good, like a person who's a person like that's watching someone else and shadowing them, you don't have to ask them a million questions. A lot of times you can just watch and then maybe ask some questions about a little nuance or something you don't
Right.
understand, and then maybe they'll give you the nuance and say, hey, also if you put a little bit of this with it, then it'll work better in your favor. Or
Hmm.
if you've been paying attention and then you're trying to verify what you're seeing, and then you ask the person, they might tell you, yes, this is what it is, or no, it's not. But it's more so about how to be a pro. That's what I'm seeing.
Right.
And why did we, and here I go because I'm still on side eye emoji with Mendoza, but why did we draft Mendoza? Because he was accurate. So it's not like Kirk Cousins is going to teach, Mendoza on how to be accurate as a quarterback.
Exactly.
And even further than that, it goes back to who Kirk Cousins is. We know Kirk Cousins is a nice guy. If Fernando Mendoza goes to Kirk Cousins and says, "Hey, can you tell me what you think about X, Y, and Z?" Yeah, he's gonna give him some game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's gonna teach him. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he asks him, but it still goes down to the responsibility of Fernando Mendoza to ask Kirk Cousins those questions. It's not Kirk Cousins' responsibility to teach him what
Right.
needs to be done. It's hey, I'm Fernando Mendoza. Hey, can you teach me this? Okay, this is what it is. So take your notes, and if you got some questions, go ahead and ask them. But it's your responsibility to ask
Yep.
those questions.
Yep.
I learned that with my dad. Like my dad teaching me a lot of stuff. And then, you get to a certain point, you might think you know a little something or whatever. And one thing that stuck with me, like he said, I taught you everything you know, not everything I know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of how that works. I'm going to teach you what you need to know, and then it's incumbent on you to take your knowledge base a little bit further and be proficient at something. But don't ever get it twisted that I'm teaching you everything I know. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that you're being mean or anything like that. It's just so much information, years and years of experience. I can't dump it all in a half of a training camp or all in OTAs and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's unrealistic.
Yeah. Yeah. 16 years of experience is hard to hand over to one guy in a week or a day.
Yeah, he's not going to
It's a,
understand it because he don't even
mm-mm.
understand the speed of the game or what he's even seeing. Because people are saying Mendoza's smart; he can read defenses. He never read an NFL defense, and not
Right.
only
No,
that,
big
he's an
difference.
RPO. He's used to reading RPOs. That's like
Yeah.
reading the DN pretty much.
He does know
You
how to
know,
watch game film though.
yeah, he
That's
does.
that's hard. That's the
It
hardest
is.
part. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know who said it on the panel here, but I'll just reemphasize whoever said it. But you're exactly right. What are the reasons? What are the qualities and reasons why we drafted Fernando number one? It's he has all those intangibles that we don't have to teach. Right? He's intelligent, super intelligent, right? But his the way he's a leader, okay? The fact that the lights never got too bright for him when he was in college, right? That's hard to teach. So, I mean, it's going to be different in the NFL. Absolutely, I agree. But he's already got that foundation. He's already got a lot of those intangibles. We don't have to teach him that. We don't have to teach him how to watch film. He knows how to do it.
Awesome.
He got really good at it, and we don't have to teach him how to mentally prepare for practice or mentally prepare for a game. He already understands those. Now it's just a matter of him getting all the new information, getting up to speed, learning the speed of the game because it's obviously a way faster game. There's tons of intricacies. I mean, I was watching the Green Bay Chicago game and the defense didn't move at all. They got set and didn't move. And believe it or not, I like Caleb Williams. I really do. I think that kid's going to be special for years to come. And he was able to recognize that they were in a base zone set. And at the snap of the ball, there was a switch on the backside, and he recognized it like during the snap. And it was like, holy crap. Because he was going to DJ Moore on the right side. It was going to be a right flat. And he recognized it, and he came back to the tight end on the other side just that quick, knowing that once that shift occurred, that his tight end was going to be on a 1-on-1 on an out route or an up and go route, and he was able to hit him for a nice gain. I was like, God dang. Those are the things that Fernando is going to have to learn. He's going to have to learn that what I see on the right side should tell me what's going to be on the left side without having to turn my head and look. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does to me.
Do we want our quarterback to be a teacher, or we want our quarterback to be a quarterback?
We want our quarterback to be a good quarterback that sets a great example. He doesn't have to be the teacher. He has to be the big brother. Just set a good example. That's all you got to do.
There you go.
Be the big brother.
Poppy Blanco, my brother, what's good with you, bro? Yeah, so he's a New York Giants fan, so I don't know why he said we going 3-14. But my Frank Webb said, I don't think that Cousins feels threatened by Mendoza because he knows the score. He's confident to allow him to help the kid out a lot. Yeah, when he first came in, he said if the best player should play. And I said this, I was like, because he knows he's the best player. You can see he exuded that confidence that he is the best player. So, and he also said, if the best player ain't me, then I don't want him to be me. Because he knows that it's time to hang up them cleats because he don't want to hurt himself going out there again. And not only that, I'm sure he got enough chicken to
He's got chicken, he's got eggs, he's got roosters.
Right. So let me this conversation got really good. We're at the hour mark already.
Imagine that.
Let's get into
Hold on real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm just watching this picture, and don't get me wrong, I love Maxx Crosby, but I'm not. Ever since Kenny Stabler got traded to the Oilers, I was 8 years old when that happened, and he got traded to the Oilers. I learned then that you don't fall in love with the player, you fall in love with the team. And this right here, I know he's proud of his tattoos, but those are his. Why can't he wear a shirt that says Raiders?
Okay, let's talk about
that. You see what I'm saying?
I think Pizzle was going to say something about that earlier, so go ahead.
Go ahead, Pizzle.
No, you can finish your point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no. I think I pretty much covered it. I just threw it there in a question form.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, right? It seems like it's a more of a me thing with him, right? It's like, we understand you got these tattoos. It's like an attention thing. Like, he's got to get all the attention. I don't understand what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's an ego thing. I don't know. Maybe I understand that he has idols. All of us have idols.
Yeah.
But those guys don't walk around with their idols. Well, they might have tattoos, but they don't walk around with them like, I understand. Like, I get it, but you don't have to be a billboard for Kobe and whoever else you got over there.
Right. And
that, you do that on your at your house on your time. Right now, you're at the Raiders billboard. You come into the press conference like, I don't know. This is kind of like, I don't know. This kind of weird behavior for me. Like, where's your attire? You wouldn't go into Taco Bell looking like that.
I'll say it like this: for those that want to dive into it deeper, just take a moment to listen to his press conferences and see what kind of vibe you get.
Could I ask
Me
you
or
Including this press conference.
just listen to it.
I
Okay,
want
we gonna
I want a lot of I want tos. Is that what you're talking
we gonna
about?
we gonna we gonna listen to it.
Okay, let's
And
do it.
then
We'll dive into it after we listen to it. Go ahead.
yeah, and so this is my approach to it about the tax. So for one, Max don't always come up there like that, and for me, um, when I saw it, I was like, okay, because it did catch me off guard. So that I had to ask myself, why would Max do that? And the thing that I came up with is this: Max has a chip on his shoulder. It could be Frito Lay chips. It could be Lay's chips. It could be chocolate chips. It could be chip off the old block. I don't know. But what I do know is Max is pissed about a lot of things. And he's pissed that he got this he has this attitude, right? And so now he's like showing everybody like, you know what? The Max that y'all know and love, I'm talking about back in 23, that Max, this is where I'm trying to channel myself into right now. So this is what I'm doing. Now, is it outside the frame of the shield or whatever? I can see why people say that. I can see why y'all saying what y'all saying. But
Mm-hmm.
being that I understand how Max moves, and I'm not saying he don't need to temper some of it, but based on that, first day of camp, of full practice, he just like basically like, you know what? I'm about to let it all hang out and I'm about to give it all for the nation. And that's how I took it. So, but based on what Twan said, I'm going to listen to it with an objective ear to see if
Yeah,
I can pick up what he putting down.
Twan's
Somebody
got a
said
smile.
Baltimore chips. Oh, Sacktown Raider Mike, he said, how did Poppy get a wrench? Well, Poppy Blanco, that's my guy. That's like my brother, man.
Yeah.
And not only that, I did before I did just Raider content, I did all sports. So he's somebody I trust. I know he not trolling me because he mean what he's saying, but he letting me know how he feel because I'm so ultra Raider and I'm so ultra Warriors. I'm so Bay Area that when he get his chance, because he's from New York, you got to understand East Coast to the West Coast is going to always be a little egging on right there. So that's what he's doing right there. He's a very respectful guy, very um um he just high character, everything. He's just giving me jabs right now. So that's what that's about. Yeah, yeah. No, no, it's not my bad. No, I'm glad you said something. I'm glad you said something because you know how we do it over here, One Nation, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see what Black Boy Max is talking about.
But Max, there was a few times today where you got to the quarterback, obviously no pad, you can't sack him, but certainly doesn't look like there's any limitations on you.
Yeah, there's a couple plays I wanted back. I felt just more mentally, I haven't like gone full speed since, last year, 2025 in December. So there's a couple plays I felt like I hesitated slightly, but physically, I feel like I had no thought in my mind. I was flying around and moving, and it's all the work, that's been put in. And there's so many people I could thank for that, but just taking it one day at a time. And it was fun to just be back out there with the guys.
Considering all you've been through, how much more excited were you to show up today knowing that you were going to be able to do everything you could do out there on the field?
Yeah, it's extremely exciting. It's been, a long off season, but, it's a blessing in disguise. There's a lot of things that, I learned and grew from, and that's the beautiful thing about life. You have an opportunity every day to, either feel bad for yourself and make excuses and be a victim, or you can, stand up and rise and build and grow from those type of experiences. So I feel like that's what, has built who I am. And, I try to inspire the people around me. It's not about how hard it is and not how, you could look at all the negativity and stuff that comes from it, or you just look at, the positives and the things you can grow from. And that's really where I just keep my mind at. So it was just awesome to be out there. I had so much fun.
just kind of joked about how he hopes that you take it easy on the guys in the red jersey. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just I can't tell you how many people have come up to me already and just been like, all right, so in practice you can't do this. If you get I have a whole textbook full of rules that I got to follow or I'm gonna get in trouble. But that's it comes with it. I practice one way, and I know that, and I know I push the line, and sometimes I go over the line. But ultimately, it's because I want to be the greatest at what I do, and I want to push my teammates to be the greatest version of themselves. So, when you get out there and bullets are flying, like I'm not thinking about not going or not finishing the play, or you know what I mean. It's just not in my nature. So that's something I've been dealing with my whole career. It's not easy. But Clint grabbed me the first day, and Robbie, and I feel like every single human is like, hey, you got a second? Let me tomorrow. If you in this situation, I'm like, I get it.
So you said you're essentially saying you're a habitual line stepper. And it shows also with this whole shirt off thing too. Like you're pushing the boundary. Like and so what do you got to say? Go ahead, Pizzle.
He don't face any consequences. That's what it is. He's like a little child that's never gotten spanked or anything. You know what I mean? Like he just thinks he can do whatever he wants to do, and he's running the show. It's Maxx, not the Raiders. That's just how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of just a lot of I don't know, selfishness right now. That's the only way I could kind of describe it. Just narcissism comes to mind, but
is it that far though? Is it really that far?
I counted like 7 or 8
because I can see if he wasn't the best player on our defense. Like he's a
I don't know how to stop a play. I'm in the middle of a play. I don't know how to. Dude, what do you mean you don't know how to?
He's telling you, but he's saying the reason why is he's pushing his teammates. And I also said earlier though that if Kubiak is coming up there saying something to you, yeah, you might want to throttle that down. But if you sitting there and keep saying, well, I don't know how, then I agree with you, Pizzle, and I agree with the rest of y'all that feel that way. Of like, bro, if you can't tone it down, then what you're telling me is when they tell you to get off the field, you're not gonna get off the field. That's what that's telling me. And I'm like, bro, I hope that's not the case. You're a habitual line stepper. I get it playing football. That's kind of the edge you have. It's hard for me to kind of justify it 100%, but at the same time, I'm not going to go as far as and be like, you know what, bro, you think you better than everybody. I'm not going to go that far because I think he's doing it for the benefit of the team. He just got a weird way of going about it.
He's going to get hurt. He's going to get somebody hurt is what's going to happen.
Yeah. I still want to hear Twan's version of
how is he going to get someone hurt? Because it's not like he hitting a quarterback.
Well, you don't know what he's doing. What if he hurts himself coming around the edge and the offensive lineman gives him a shove that he shouldn't have given him a shove? As doing a little extra protection.
If you get hurt over a little shove, then you AOC Junior because
things happen.
And yeah, but you can get hurt going half speed too, though. So I'm not really like off board what you're saying. I'm just not
practicing
all the way
though, dude. They're not going full out. They're not doing full out.
They are. They're going at it. He's just pushing the issue. Like the reason why I'm saying that because I saw him. I wish I had the video loaded in here where he was explaining because he was doing it to DJ Glaze. Matter of fact, he did the same thing to Jackson Power Johnson's too. Right. And that's why their relationship kind of soured for a little bit. But then what ended up happening is instead of Jackson Powers taking it personal, he took that as an opportunity to grow. So the following year, he's like the growth that happened between last year and this year is incrementally a lot because of he took it upon himself to get better. He's doing it to make his teammates better. So I get it, but then at this time, I also like, bro, you can't be disrupting the flow of the offense because Gruden had a problem with him from day one with doing it. And that's because it messes up your timing as a quarterback. Certain drills aren't meant to just be defeated Like 7-on-7, 7-on-7 is not a drill where the defense is made to really beat the offense. You're supposed to beat them on 7-on-7. Yeah, sure, you can
Yeah.
knock the ball down and all that other stuff, but you don't want the D lineman, or because the D lineman ain't on 7-on-7, but you don't want certain things to happen to disrupt that rhythm because it's really an offensive drill. And Max is doing too much there. But I don't think it's to the point where he's like narcissistic though. Like, but then again, I don't know. It could be if you
Is
don't
it
want to
his
stop,
job to
because
coach, or is it the coach's job to coach?
it's the coach's job to coach.
All right,
And I'm
then.
not justifying it, but what I'm saying is to go as far as to say that he think he's
So
this
by
up
him
here
trying to
with
make
it,
his
that's a little
play,
much for
the
me.
play, his players or his teammates better, he's kind of like overriding what the coach is saying. He's like, no, this is what I want to do because this is how I want to do it. It's not the way that the
Yeah,
coach wants to do it. It's how Mad Max wants to teach these guys how to do it.
yeah. I just don't think it's that far. I think that's an element, but I don't think it's that far because some
He
things
just
that you
said it's
do.
that far. Yeah,
No, I don't think he's saying that he better than the coaches. I don't think he's saying
he is
that.
if he's saying that he wants to push him to make him better when that's the coach's job to do.
No, no, but see, on the field, the way you play is how you push your teammates. Because sure, the coaches
Yeah.
can give you the instruction, but as a player, you have to still be able to perform what the coach is expecting,
Yeah,
and you push your teammates by acting like that. And like I
but
said,
both
I'm not
players got to
justifying
know
it.
that both players got to know but what the intention is. One guy's going out there with one intention in his head, and the other guy's going out there with another motive in his head.
That happens all the time, bro. That happens all the time. It does. Now, to this level, I say no. It doesn't happen to this level. So I understand that it's concerning because, especially if he won't stop. Because if he
Yeah.
won't stop, then it's a problem.
I think where the boundaries that we set, and Kubiak will figure this out too, is if he's doing it in the games and in practice, then that's just who Maxx Crosby is. And
Yeah.
but the red jerseys, when it comes to the red jerseys, that's a team thing. That's not a coach. That's the team. So if you're pushing it to the point where you're in putting the quarterback in jeopardy of getting injured just because you want to practice at a certain rate or you want to get to the quarterback at a certain level to try and prove something, at that point you can only hurt the team by injuring the quarterback. So he's got to know that he knows the boundaries. He does. And to be honest with you, the first day of pads, he's going to amp it up and he's going to piss off the offensive coordinator and he's going to piss off Kubiak. And then after the dust settles, after a couple of practices to that, he'll tone it down. He'll know what the purpose is, but he also is just trying to set the tone for what practice should be. This
Yeah.
is how he's not. I don't think he's in the ear of the other players on the defense, telling them, "Oh, you got to do like I do." I don't think he's doing that. He's just setting the context of it with his actions and the way he plays. My only concern with the press conference is, and like I said, the artwork is beautiful, love it, right? But it's your artwork. It's not the team's. And when you go up to the podium like that, there's a bunch of shields behind you, and there's a bunch of sponsors that sponsor our team. I would wear regalia that reflect that, such as I know the equipment guys have a nice shirt he could throw on to go up there. Now after a game, he's taking his pads off and he's taking his uniform off and he's got tape on his hands and stuff like that right after a game. That's on the press because the press is trying to get their story as fast as they can and not giving a player the chance to unwind and cool down a little bit. They're trying to basically touch the motor while it's still hot is what they're trying to do. But in this situation right here where he's come off the practice field, he's already probably talked about 20 or 30 different people, and the press conference is 20 minutes after the practice.
I don't that part I don't know how far away, but either way, bro, he can throw a shirt on. Like if he got the sleeve on, he can throw the shirt on. But
Yeah.
this is like training camp, so I'm not really I think we're well. I just think that it's not that serious. It's training camp, right? But I get it. He could have put a shirt on or whatever. He could have.
But
I just don't think it rises to the level where I'm gonna start docking points from him because I know he's not hitting the quarterback in practice. Just like you guys got to understand who we talking about. He has the Mamba mentality, right?
Right.
So even in practice, Kobe used to push these players so hard, even so much that him and Shaq got into it, right?
Yeah.
And Shaq had to leave because Kobe used to push his players and his teammates in practice so hard that when the game comes, this is easy. And even Coach Kubiak said that they want to make practice so stressed, put the stressors on them so hard that the game on Sundays is easy. Now, Max being the player, he needs to learn when to temper that. Because, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you guys totally. I'm just saying, I just know that in his mind, he's like, I'm pushing my teammates to a point of perfection. And you can only do that on the field, not while your coach keeps saying something to you. It's got to translate on the field too. So he got to find that fine line. And if he doesn't find that fine line, then it will be a detriment to the team. Because just like Kobe, it was a detriment to the team because had him and Shaq got along, they would have won 1,000 championships. But at the same time, Kobe like, look, I put this kind of work into it. If you're not going to do that, then hey, I have little to no respect for you. So I don't know.
It's not a red flag, but it's definitely concerning when you have someone that we're identifying as a leader. I don't know if you guys want to categorize this guy as the face of the franchise, but you have him as a leader. And if the leader is, like you said, Black, a habitual line stepper, what do you think's going to follow? You know what I'm saying? The head follow. You know what I'm saying? Everybody follows the head. So what so say that? Yeah, we see Maxx Crosby being a habitual line stepper, and then all of a sudden now we're seeing other guys habitual line stepping. You know what I'm saying? And then now the way you practice is the way that you play on the field, right? So now we're getting penalties and it trickles down to that. So it can't. I'm not saying that it's there right now, but it's definitely a cause of concern, especially if we're identifying him as a leader. Because again, if he's trying to set the tone, who is he setting the tone for? And
He's setting the tone for everybody.
When do again, like you exactly. So if he's setting the tone for everybody, then eventually what's going to happen when JPJ is crossing the line? What happens when, you know what I'm saying?
He gets checked by Max.
This is what I don't want. Is I don't want this to be an example and have JPJ go up to the podium with no shirt on, showing his
that's not going to happen. Oh wow, that would be crazy as hell. No, that's not going to happen. Like Max is not a person who gets a gang of penalties for one, right? He knows. Like somebody said, like I think I don't remember who said, but Max knows where that line is because that's why he's a habitual line stepper because he knows where that line is. It's not that he's running through the line because he don't know where it is. And then as far as other people doing it, I agree with that, like in logic, right? But if I look at how it's always been, Max has always been like this, and I haven't seen other players just decide that they were going to take that path too. So I think Max has earned the right to be like that, but you gotta be aware of it because, like you said, who's to say that JPJ won't come up there one of these times with a slice of pizza? You know what I'm saying? Like because then we gotta be like, well, where did that come from? And then we gotta blame Max.
Now he'll go up there with a drink. Why not just like some Woodson whiskey or something?
Yeah, but that would be dumb.
Yeah, and the biggest in the total context
That is kind of whiskey though.
In total though, what we're all discussing, none of it's wrong, but he should know right now, this year, right now, this moment is we're starting something new, and there's a lot of new faces and a lot in this new place. And if he goes up to the podium wearing a Raiders shirt, to them that says he's up there for us. He's talking for us.
Yeah.
You You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I wouldn't have taken it like that because I know how Max is. Like, I wouldn't have took it like that. I'd just be like, I know I wouldn't walk up there with no shirt on,
Yeah.
but I know that's how Max is. So really, me knowing Max, okay, let me just let Max be Max. Now, if we come out, we find out we end up at 3-8, and he's still acting the same kind of way. I'll be like, dang, bro. I mean, like now, all these things that people were saying has legitimacy. Because that right now is not legitimate as much because it is legitimate. I mean, I'm not because remember, wait, where I'm at with it. Hold on, I'm gonna give it. Pizzle, I'm gonna give what you're saying 2 ice cubes because I'm not discounting what you're saying. I understand what y'all saying. All of you guys, I get it. But I also understand that Max is just doing that because he's at the point now. Like I haven't been healthy in a couple years. I got traded. They made an excuse not to keep me. The Raider fans is mad at Flock Nation. You know what? It's me against the world. So you know what? I'm coming out here tatted up, and I think he only gonna do it this one time. I hope it ain't no. I hope it's not a reoccurring theme because if it's a reoccurring theme, then I'm gonna be like,
Yeah. The tattoo thing is not the issue. That to me is not the issue. It's just right now we're set in the context of a team building a team, and it's like you should probably go. I would expect this week 1. That would be when we like I'm putting the work in. This is me. But like right now, because they literally probably just had a post practice speech from Kubiak about the team doing everything as a team, working together as a team. We're going to study as a team. We're going to prepare as a team. And so, just out of retrospect of what was just said, just throw that shirt on that says Raiders on it. So when you go up to the podium, that's who you're representing.
yeah, if that's the issue with us, then I feel sorry for us because there's no more team player on our team than Max. Max is there's no better team player on our team than Max. I'm sorry, like at this point in where we at right now, there is no greater team player than Max on this team. Like Max does it all from the beginning to the end. He starts every drill first. So if y'all want to overlook not y'all, but if the players overlook all that and then get pissed over him not wearing a shirt, then I'm concerned about our team, not Max.
I'm not worried about the shirt. I'm just talking about the play on the field in regards to practicing. If he's in a situation where he's identified as a leader, that's why I said it's not a red flag for me, but it's definitely a cause for concern because I also believe that sometimes if you give somebody an inch, they'll run a mile. And not necessarily with Max, because again, he may know where know where to stop. But again, he's a leader and he has a bunch of young people on this team. So with that being said, what are we teaching? You know what I'm saying? What example is being set on the field from our leader? You know what I'm saying? For these guys that are coming in. So you police yourself, but at the same time, if you see your boss wilding out, what do you
think? Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't the boss.
No, but you start thinking you are.
Well, that's your fault, not his.
Yeah, well, he's thinking he's the boss right now. He's wilding out.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you think you have enough cachet to act like Max and you don't, that's a you thing, not a Max thing. Now, if the coaches come to him and say, "Look, Max, we want to have this uniformity, right?" Because I get the uniformity.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to turn it down. I need you to turn it down. Well, this is how Max been this whole time he's been here. This is not new. This ain't the first time we seen his ink. Like that's why I'm like I'm shocked that it's a thing, but I understand why it's a thing though. But I'm like, okay, well, it's training camp, so really at the end of the day, I'm not tripping. So what is it?
I'm fine with the shirt.
What is him not wearing a shirt make him not a Raider?
He's not with
That's
the
not.
program. He's not on the program, bro. He's on a different. He's on Maxx Crosby's program. He's not on the Clint Kubiak.
Because he's not wearing a shirt.
Yeah, because he's doing whatever he
much
wants.
For me. That's too much for me.
I guess it's too much
That's
for
too
you
much
to
for
put a
me.
shirt on and represent your brand.
No, it's too much for me to
I
think
guess
the
it's too
franchise
much.
gonna fold because he's not
And
wearing
the
the
guy's
shirt.
acting like he's in high school right now, like he's back in college or something.
Yeah, well,
He's not at a frat party, bro. He's at a press
this
conference.
has nothing to do with a frat party. This is just him being who he is. Like, and if it's too much and it affects the team, how they play, I'm scared for the team for one.
It's the image, dude.
But
It's the image.
The image.
The Raider
So
image.
why wasn't everybody had this smoke for AOC when he said he wanted to be on another team then, or he wanted to be a starter? No, I'm just saying that I think that's more detrimental. I think that's more detrimental to say than Max not wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Like to say, you know what, I want to be a starter in this league. Like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But why are you saying it now? It's inappropriate. Just like it's inappropriate for him not to wear a shirt right now, right? It's inappropriate. I get that. But I'm saying, how far is it inappropriate? Is it inappropriate to the point that the team can't function? Because if they can't function because he's not wearing a shirt, then I
don't know about that, but sorry. I might slap him with $100,000 fine though.
let me finish with Max talking.
No, it's just a lot of times when you're doing the team thing and you're building the team concepts and everybody's a team, we're all a team.
Exactly.
Just represent the team. That's all.
Exactly.
If you, I mean, if his teammates don't have a problem with that, and it shows, and only time will tell whether or not it shows. If they buy in, hey, that's just the way Max is. That's the way Max is going to be. Then fine. Then I'm good with it. Everybody's good with it. But just knowing that today's the first day, where the team has come together. It's the first brick of the foundation. It's being built today. It doesn't hurt to just throw on a shirt that says Raiders on it, and in that way, you're coming from the perspective of I'm here for the team.
If we don't know that already about Max, then that's a problem. If we don't know that he's team, then that's a problem. If we don't know that Max is the consummate team player, then that's a problem.
But there's guys on this team that haven't been here that are brand new.
Man, they know who Maxx Crosby is, bro.
Okay.
They know who Maxx Crosby is. This ain't the first time they've seen
Max
Maxx
gets
Crosby.
Special privileges, right? Max gets special privileges.
It's not about special privileges.
Because
if that's the case, so do you think Max outworks everybody?
I don't know if he does or doesn't. And that's
there's probably some guys on that. Right. There's a couple guys on that team probably work just as hard as he does.
Now you don't never hear it. You don't never hear about nobody else being in the office, being in the building first and last, like Max, or playing from snap to snap, from quarter to quarter, and all of that. There's matter of fact, who is the player we talking about? Because Max been doing this for 7-8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like confused. Like I didn't know it was this big of a thing. But hey, like
to me, it's not that big of a deal. To me, it's really not. It's really not that big of a deal. I don't, because I've seen him in a press conference like this multiple times, and it's just that's who he is, and I already know how he is. So he's proud of who he is. I'm proud of who he is. But I'm just thinking. I'm thinking from the concept of because where we're at right now as a team that we're building from, we're trying to get that team aspect going. Is it would probably look a lot better had he just thrown a Raiders shirt on today. Next week, if you want to go up to the podium without a shirt on, fine. But just do it today. Difference? So that way, everybody's like, all right, he's a, you know what I mean? It just, that way, and it deflects. It's a visionary thing. It's not no, I could close my eyes and listen to the press conference and hear the same thing.
Now, what's the difference between this week and next week?
It all comes down to when the team starts to gel, when everybody starts to, because the players on the team that we brought in don't they don't know Max as well as you would think they would. Okay, so there's a lot of team camaraderie building, doing the practices together, post practice, all that stuff, to where that these guys got to really get to know each other from snap to snap, play to play, meeting to meeting, lunch to lunch, dinner to dinner, all that stuff. So it just, I don't know. To me, it would have just made more sense. But hey, if like you said, and I agree with you, BDQ, on this, if the other guys don't have a problem with it, if they just sit back and say, well, that's how Max is, then fine, go for it. And that's just the way it is. But from my perspective, it seems like kind of like when I played, if one of my teammates, we had team socks, uniforms, shirts, everything was team oriented. And if one of my teammates showed up with booty socks on it for a game, I was like, man, the coach tells us this is what we're going to wear, and all of a sudden you're not going to wear that. How are you more special than I am?
Okay, so let me ask you that. Yeah, I absolutely understand that, because I had one coach that didn't really care like that, but then I had another coach where we all had to wear the socks the same length. We all got to have our shirts tucked in all the time. The uniform got to be, everybody got to look the same, exactly the same. And guess what? Both the teams was booty. But I'm just saying, like, if something like that is if something like that, no, like, I understand the reasoning for it. I get it, because there's no one person better or bigger than the other. I get that, right?
Right.
And but I'm like, if I see a player wearing short socks, that ain't about to make me go out there and underperform because he get to wear short socks and I don't. That's not gonna make me underperform. Not me.
Yeah. But the thing of it is, and in my situation is, I had the team socks on. I just pulled them down. And the coach comes over and yells at me and says, pull your damn socks up. And I'm like, okay, but your baby boy over there that's playing outside linebacker on the other side's got booty socks on in a game. And there's nothing. In other words, the playing field is going to be level, right? And it should be. So if everybody goes by the same rules, then there's no questions about it. Now, I'm not saying this is a rule.
Yeah, but let's assume that it is a rule, though. Let's say if it's a rule and he's defying the rule, then yeah, that's doing way too much.
If Kubiak comes out and says,
because Coach Robbie even said that he got in trouble with Coach Tom Coughlin, because he was like, we tell the players they got to wear long socks and you get to wear short socks. And so he said from then on he wore long socks. So now, so Max, you can't be bigger than the program if that is the case. Right. So, and then if that is the case, I would agree with you guys 95%. I would agree with you guys 95%. If he's just doing that just because he's just being defiant,
take 95%.
and being a petulant child, like Pistol said, then yeah, Max is out of pocket for this, no matter if it affects the team or not. He's not bigger than what they said. If Kubiak saying stop knocking the ball down, and Coach Robbie saying it, because he literally said both their names, then Max, then you are doing too much. And then I'm going to have to, if I have to pick a side, I got to pick the side what you guys are saying. If that is the case.
There is a dress code, and only the team knows what that dress code is for how they behave and how they're supposed to present themselves. But my bigger concern is not necessarily, you know what I'm saying, what we're seeing on the screen is what's on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like it was brought up, him knocking down balls when the coach is trying to simulate something, because again, you remember there's only a certain amount of time that they're allowed to be on the, on the field. So there might be something that they might be trying to do a 2-minute drill and trying to simulate something. And here goes Maxx Crosby saying I'm above, what Kubiak's trying to cook. And that's why it goes back to what I was saying earlier, where we gotta allow Kubiak to be the only chef, and whatever the chef says, that should be the law, and that should be it. There shouldn't be no crossing the line and all of that stuff, because again, if your leader's crossing the line, then what do you think the little scrub, the 53rd man on the roster is going to allow? You know what I'm saying? Act like he can do. You know,
if we're gonna be like that, and I agree with you. Well, if Max is at the building early, then y'all need to be at the building early. Then if that's how we go. If you're gonna follow what Max does, and if the negative thing is gonna make you deter, then I mean the positive thing should make you buy in and lock in. So if he comes with the shirt and he's showing up early and he's doing all these things, and well, everybody should have that expectation too. Am I wrong in saying that?
You're absolutely right, and then that just goes back to the Josh McDaniels, and you guys have probably seen the video when he jumped down Malcolm Kuntz's shit for blocking a pass in practice, correct? You guys saw that video? Yeah. Hey, man. Okay. So that right there probably comes from this situation right here. Max goes in, if he's rushing a passer and he's being so disruptive to ruin the ebb and flow of what the offense is trying to do, then he gets chewed out. He gets chewed out by the coaches, or told to stop doing that. And now somebody else turns around and does it. You gotta, once that line is drawn in the sand, the baseline is set. Now everybody else has to fall in line as well with that.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting. Think about this. We're going back to the presser. How many people went up to Maxx Crosby before they went out there on the field today? Why and why did they go to Maxx Crosby?
What do you mean before?
Because he's the face of the franchise.
Yeah.
So there was a reason why before practice started, you know what I'm saying, yesterday or before, you know what I'm saying, they went out there, hey, Maxx Crosby, let me talk to you about, you know what I'm saying, not crossing the line today. Like, they're talking to him because they know, like, hey, in order for us to get everybody on board, we need to make sure that the top is right.
Right.
Top down, right, Black? Top down?
Yep, you're right. Top down.
Top down?
Top down. Let's finish with Max. Let's finish with Max. But one last thing. I know that you guys remember when Toby was in the game and he was going like this, and everybody thought he was telling the other team, chill out or whatever. Really, what happened there was Phil Jackson was telling Kobe to stop doing something. And Kobe was like, nah, bump that. I'm about to take over right now because we need it. And then he took over and it worked out. And he was really telling the bench, calm down. Y'all calm down. I got this. Now,
I remember that one, yeah.
It's a fine line between being a person who listens to everything the coach says versus bump that. I'm trying to take this to another level. And I'm not saying that is right. I'm just saying that's his mentality. Now, what would determine if it's the right thing or not is if we win games. Because if we don't win games, then they can easily look back into this situation and be like, see, this is where it started again this year, right here. Max showed up first day out of camp. This fool showed up with no shirt on. Like, who the hell does that? And then at that point, I'll have to eat crow, but make mine with hot sauce and a little
make it
ketchup.
flavorful.
Yeah.
and mind you, this is day one. So what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Week 17. You know what I'm saying? Like it and that's why, again, for me, it's a concern. It's not necessarily like, oh, all hell is breaking loose, but it can trickle down. What happens when, because again, winning is the best deodorant, but losing is the worst dumpster juice in the world. So what happens if we on a losing streak? You know what I'm saying? What happens to the mentality of these players?
Let me pose this question. Let's say after today, Kubiak did approach him. We don't know, right? But let's say Kubiak did approach him and say, "Hey, Max, I need you to wear a shirt next time you go up to the podium."
I think he would.
And then he sits and does the old shotgun effect. Is He doesn't single out Max. He just sends out a blanket email to everybody. From now on, any player that goes up to the podium for a press conference must have a shirt on with the Raiders insignia going forward from here on out. Boom. Done, right? So now we have a baseline. And then Max doesn't. Then what? What do we
No,
have?
so that's why I would be mad at Kubiak if he does that. I think he should just go to Max directly and say, Max, we love you. We love the intensity, but you're a leader on this team and it can send the wrong message. Can you please put
Right.
on a shirt? And then Max say to them, then I'm gonna be like, damn, Max, I make this dope intro based on you, and now we're gonna get rid of you because we keep saying, well, I keep saying first person act up, first person get drug out. Anybody can get it. Max, you can get it too. So I'm like, oh, come on, bro.
Yeah, and I like your format as well as too. I mean, but I know sometimes bosses or managers do what they call the shotgun effect
Yeah.
instead of just being. But I like if I was Max in this situation, I would prefer the coach to come up to me and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
you need to put a shirt on next time you go to the point."
Because
Okay,
I would take that personal. Because I'm like, y'all know you talking about me. I'm the only one that did it. Don't come in here
Yeah.
talking about, well,
He
if
didn't hear
anybody
him. He
does
said
this.
he would approach him first and then send out a blanket email.
right.
No,
That's how I would.
There we
do it. That's
go.
how I would.
There
do
we
it.
go. There
That's
we
what he
go.
said.
it still
Yeah.
puts it still will put the highlight on Maxx Crosby because again, when that email comes out and that email comes to me, I'm already knowing that was for Maxx Crosby. But
Oh yeah.
along with that, he has as a head coach or whoever that puts that out, he's going to have to put that in communications for everybody because if he wants to kill it, he has to let everybody know, hey, this is what's going on. He can't just say, oh, Maxx Crosby,
Yeah.
no, make sure you wear a
No,
shirt, and then next
I'm not
week,
saying
you know what I'm saying, the next person comes out there and he ain't got his shirt.
that's
You know
not
what I'm saying?
gonna
So he
happen.
has to let everybody know this is what it is.
That ain't what's gonna happen. I'm just saying he should go. If he go to Max, he can go to Max without the whole email thing. But if he wants to do the email thing, make sure you go to Max first because what's
Right.
gonna happen is if you just come in one day and start handing out a piece of paper and everybody know you talking about Max, but you
Right.
want to go
Yeah.
passive aggressive about it, Max gonna have an attitude because I would feel some type of way. I'm like, well, why you just didn't say it to me? Because this doesn't really involve the whole team. But
It does.
it does. It's
And
not.
in that conversation, Pizzle, in that conversation, when you have that conversation with Max, it's like, hey, just to let you know, once we're done here, I will be sending out a policy to the rest of the team so they all understand as well that that's not to be tolerated again. There are some franchises that have code of conduct when they go to the press conference. There's
They
certain
probably got
questions
one for
they
the
can
Raiders.
ask, certain questions they can answer, in what context they can answer, you know. And they have media guys that tell them, "Hey, if this question is asked, just refer them to this person. Don't answer the question." You know, just little things like that, little tidbits. There's an etiquette in which they have to perform in front of the media as well. It sucks because I don't care as long as you score touchdowns and sack the damn quarterback. You want to run around in a thong? I don't give a shit. Just make the tackle.
Whoa.
Well, Belichick, there was a Patriot way. You can see it week in and week out. They was answering it by the book.
Mm-hmm.
But let me play a little bit more because I didn't know we was gonna get stuck on.
Hey, we cooking, man.
But yeah, it's been with every coach. That's something that that's literally all the way back to college days with Coach Creighton.
Max
He
is
used
not
to,
helping.
had to kick me out of practice all the time. But it's growth, He's
Good night,
focused
God
on
bless.
Getting better and trying to
Right.
be the best version of yourself. That's all I can do.
Early in the process, what have you thought about all the new additions on the defensive side of the ball that's running with you?
It's been great. Obviously it's, we're not in pads yet. So I think you figure out, your identity, especially once the pads come on and you see people's physicality and the type of competitors they are. But it was awesome just seeing, but it's a funny story. It was back in back in OTAs, but I was out there doing a walkthrough and I'm getting in a stand. I looked at him and started just laughing out loud, and I don't even know why, but he's like, "What are you laughing at, bro?" I'm like, "I've never seen a linebacker that big. Like, I've never played with a linebacker that looks like the size of me." And he's like, "No, bro, it's gonna be different." You know what I mean? So it's just cool. There's so many new faces and a lot of really talented guys on all three levels. And for me, it's the best. We want the best guys out there. The guys who are gonna, jump on the grenade and be in the foxhole with you. And that's what training camp's for. You figure out who those guys are, and then through the season, you see how everyone progresses. So it's exciting.
I love the military references as he's out of chain of command there, and he's dressed like that.
Come on. I was just about to come into y'all locker room and be like, "Kumbaya," but because when he said it's going to be different, right? So that means, Max, you got to do a couple things differently. I mean, I get trust me, I get what y'all saying, but you don't want to dim, especially Max's fire. That's not the person you want to dim his fire. That's not the person you want to do that to. But if it's at the detriment of the team, then I'm with you guys for sure. I'm just thinking that these players understand that that's Max, because I'm not going to come in and try to do what I see Max doing. Like if Max came into the meeting room with no shirt on, and everybody else got a shirt on, I'm not going to take my shirt off or just come to practice. I mean, come to the meeting with no shirt on next time because I saw Max do it. But that's just me. But then there might be some players that really think that. So everybody ain't me. So you guys are right. Just because I wouldn't do it, don't mean that. Because now, like you said, Quay might do it. Like who was he just talking about?
We don't want JPJ to do that.
We don't want him to do it.
I'll give you a great example. Black. Hey, Black. Who's the guy that we just drafted that you gave a nickname to?
I gave all of them nicknames.
Mental reps.
Which one? I got one for mental reps. I got one for bad intentions.
Bam.
Okay, there we go. Okay, you're right.
Mental reps, right?
Mental reps.
What?
Yeah.
Who's mental reps? And
Ron Crawford.
That you know what I'm saying? He got my same last name, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might see me in his jersey. Anyway, as I digress.
Yeah.
What did he say that he was going to do?
He wanted to be like Max. Okay, you won. You got it. You won.
So do I need to, you know what I'm saying? Do I need to start taking my shirt off? You know what I'm saying?
You got it. You got it,
next
bro.
podcast, you're going to come on here with my shirt off, showing my tattoos.
You got it, bro. And I think this is a good time for me. I think this is a good segue for what I was talking about. We're going to do a debate show. It's called Fight or Flight Club, and this would be a situation where I would have to say flight, because you're right. You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because someone like Keyron Crawford is impressionable. He is. You're right. And it might not be, he might not come with no shirt on, but he might do something else. You know what I'm saying? That's out of alignment. Because if you move the line just a little bit, after a while, the line is over there now. So, you know what, Pizzle? I apologize. Raider first down. I apologize. Y'all right.
Oh, no.
Mr. Crawford, well taken.
Hey, you give them an inch, they run a mile. You know what I'm saying?
Well taken.
But again, it's not a red flag, but it's a cause of concern, because it could run hella fast. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden next week it'd be like, whoa, I didn't even know it was going to go in that direction. So
right.
And then you got some people that are you're absolutely right. It's just setting a baseline, and like I said, today's the first day, so we just came out the field after having a kumbaya talk about team first. So just do something to that effect. I know he's got the skull cap on with the Raiders logo, which is, that's great, but just start that context from the beginning, and then as we move on, if basically test the waters with the team that you have. This is a different team. Just test the waters, but do it in the right way. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying any of this is wrong. Because
you just saying it's the first, being that it's the first day too, that really doesn't make it any better, because you literally did it on the first day, like literally. Now, had it been like a week or two went by or whatever, and then you just popped in with no shirt, it probably wouldn't have hit the same.
Hey,
so
how do you dress on the first day of school?
Right,
the best.
flyest.
You got
Look, bro, you ain't got to keep making your point, bro. You won, bro.
No, we
Trainer
just
Twan left his tags on his clothes, man. When he went to school, he didn't even take the
You know
tags
what
off.
I'm saying?
the guy dropped the
the
brick for the foundation and it broke, and he just, he just put half of it in there, and just said, "Oh, you know what? We'll just put the other one, half of one in there. I won't even get a new brick. I'll just put it in there." Now it's all janky.
Yeah,
that's all jank.
Okay, y'all. Okay. Y'all won, man. Dang.
Hey, let's continue to watch Maxx Crosby be a habitual line stepper. Go ahead.
Hey, go ahead, hit the button.
From a physical standpoint, after the injury and surgery and the rehab, to be able to go right now at this point at the start of camp, how significant is that for you?
What do you mean? Are you asking like how I feel, or
After going through everything with the surgery and rehab, to be 100% as camp starts, how does that sit with you? I mean, obviously
it's a blessing. It's an absolute blessing. I feel great. You know what I mean? There's a lot of, the physical part is the physical part. You're gonna have to go through the grueling rehab. I mean, first 2 months of off season, I literally can't bend my knee and I'm in a cast. You can hardly sleep. I literally couldn't sleep for about a month and a half or so. So you can't move your leg, you can't walk, can't put any pressure on it. And like, I'm so used to being so like self-efficient and self-reliant on stuff. And I got to ask everyone around me, like, and I feel like an irritant, you know what I mean? Like that part of it's that nobody really gets to see is like Rachel's, doing double, triple time, taking care of the baby. And she's also taking care of me. I'm like a big ass baby. I'm stuck on the damn couch. I can't do anything. And you know what I mean? It's like that, those are the things that people don't really get to see. And the emotional, the mental part of it. And it forces you to, make a choice of like how you're going to attack, the whole process. So, it's been, I don't know, over 7 months now. And, we're out here and the goal was the goal. And, we're out here flying and I feel incredible. And it's not just me, you know what I mean? It's obviously, I'm the one that's got to do, all the work, but ultimately there's so many good people in my corner that helped me along, the process this off season. And I can go on and on about those guys, but I didn't do it alone. And obviously Rach being, the mother of the year and, wife of the year, taking care of me and helping me during the whole thing was incredible. So it's a blessing, man. I love this game. And, I heard all the noise and all those things, but, everyone knows like my back's against the wall. That's when I'm at my best. I love the pressure. That's what I live and thrive on. So it just added points and gives me a little bit more reason to go out there and whoop ass.
Max, a quick turnaround coming back to Vegas. What does the city mean to you now after everything you've been through this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I love the city. Ever since I've been out here, it's been incredible. Las Vegas is the greatest city in the world, in my opinion. I've been in a lot of places.
Oh, wait, hold on. What? Where?
And, they've always had my back. And it's not just Vegas, it's Oakland, it's LA, it's, Raider Nation runs deep. It's all over the world. So all the fans supporting me, I appreciate it. And, everybody that shows up, we want all the fans to fill that Allegiant Stadium with silver and black, you know what I mean? Not all the other colors. And that's up to us as the players and organization to, win a lot more football games so that, that happens.
We get to report around 5 days early for camp. How much did you benefit from that?
I thought it was awesome. I was actually really excited about that just so I can kind of get a head start on the vets. I didn't have any OTA reps. Like I haven't played football since literally last year. So I was excited to get back in the building, kind of get warmed up again, get back out there. I did a walkthrough on Friday, with all the rookies and, doing all the, all the workouts and stuff with the rookies. So I felt like a rookie again, which is a little weird, but it was awesome, just kind of get my feet wet, before the vets got in town.
Okay. I missed a lot of you guys comments. And I do like getting to the comments. If you do want your comment read in real time, you got to send a super chat because it'll show up bright on my screen and then I'll see it. Or you have to be a member of the group of our channel, and then it shows up specially so I can see it. So if you guys do want me to stop and address what you're saying in real time, then that was probably the best way to do it. Otherwise, I'll try to go back and get the comments because I do love I do love you guys' comment and feedback because you guys are really bringing it. And because I've seen a couple of comments about me that was pretty funny. They said, "Black, would Miles Garrett do no shirt at a press conference?" And then Webb said, "Our podcast is gonna go shirtless now." Yeah, I'm about to do one tonight. I ain't
I
wearing
ain't
no
taking
shirt
my
tonight.
shirt off.
So no, what do you guys think about what he's saying right now? If you guys remember, unless you're still distracted by the tattoos.
What'd he say?
I
No,
actually
he
just got
just
back.
felt
I had
like
to
he
go to
was
the
a
restroom.
rookie
Sorry.
hanging out with the rookies. Basically, is what I got from that. And yeah, when you know, sitting around with his knee being injured for 6 months, not being able to put any weight on it, you know, and having his wife do things for him that he's surprised that she would do, even though it's his wife. You know, that's what she's supposed to do, is take care of him.
No, he said that she got to take care of 2 big babies.
Yeah,
He used to being self-sufficient.
yeah, well, suck it up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
Poor him.
You were talking about, you know, being here with the rookies. It's very well known that you like to mentor. You know, you hold Zach Summit. How does it feel to mentor this new group of young guys, and what does that mean to you?
It means, you know, it means the world. You know, we need everybody to win, and we're here to win. You know, we're all on this path together. Whether you're a rookie or a 10-year guy, it doesn't matter. You know, you got to come in with the mindset that you're going to help, you know, win football games. So I think this rookie class has been awesome so far. We'll learn a lot about everybody, you know, more as this camp goes on and season goes on. But so far they've been awesome. I think we have, you know, the right character guys, but ultimately we got dogs. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that play football at a high level, and they got to, you know, prove that, you know, to the vets and to these coaches. And you know, I feel like they're doing a good job of that. I think the work ethic, when, you know, that's one of the hardest things. Either, you know, you come in with that mindset, you're going to put in the work, or you're, you know, entitled and think you know, got the answers. I don't see any of that with these rookies. So they've been awesome. I've got to spend a ton of time with them. Like I said, I feel like a rookie. I've been at the M Hotel and doing my thing. You know, I'm the only vet there. So it's me and all the rookies. It's been it feels like for a while now. And they've been awesome.
Sam, last question, Sam.
Max, can you just talk a little bit about your mindset entering this year? And are you a guy that kind of sets personal goals for yourself?
Yeah, my mindset is, you know, I want to be the greatest at what I do, period. I write it in my journal every day. I want to be the best in the world at my job and my profession. And that's why I work the way I work. It's going to take every single one of us. Obviously, it's all about the team. We want to win, and ultimately that's all that matters. So me doing my part and some is something I'm going to push for every single day. And you know, greatness is measured by how many people you inspire. So I want to bring as many guys with me, and as many coaches, as many people in general that I can, you know, raise their standard and way of, you know, thinking. You know, I feel like ultimately you have, you know, every day you have 24 hours to make a decision. You know what I mean? You could push things down the line, or all right, tomorrow I'll put in that a little bit of extra work, or I'll, you know, maybe next week I'll do the extra running. Like, no, you know what I mean? You got to do it every single day and have that mindset where you're going to have growth on a consistent basis. And I feel like you can accomplish anything in the world. So my mindset coming into this, like I said, like obviously everyone's talking about he's got a chip on his shoulder, and I always got a chip on my shoulder no matter what. So yeah, of course I felt, you know, the whole situation, talked about it a million times. I'm, you know, done talking about it, but yeah, of course there's added motivation, but it's beautiful at the same time. I love being doubted. I love being told I can't do something, because I know I'm gonna go to the end of the world and make it happen.
Well, that doesn't help my argument. The whole, well, you got to do above and beyond, teammate, all that, because now the whole lack of a shirt thing is like bad precedent. Okay, cool, whatever. I got y'all.
BDQ, I'm going to end it right now for us, and then we can move on to the next topic. Ready?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm ready.
What would Gene Upshaw say
in this situation?
I'll tell you exactly what he would say. God rest his soul. Love the man.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Raider. When we're on the field, we act professional. When we're off the field, we act professional.
Yeah, is that the Raider way though?
That's his way. That was Gene
Yeah,
Upshaw.
yeah,
He
but
would
that
tell
was
his
his
teammates
standard,
that
though.
as a leader. That was his. He goes, when we go to the stadium, we act professional. When we're on the field, we act professional.
Yeah, we definitely wasn't a professional team a lot of times. But then we can go to Al Davis and say, I don't care, just win.
Uh-huh.
So
Which I agree with that as well. I'm like, in this situation, I was like, you know what? If we go 8-0, okay,
we just
show
gotta win.
everything if you want. I don't care. Just win
Well,
games.
it's one thing to have a bunch of different characters and letting people be who they are, but even those guys showed up dressed the way that they're supposed to be dressed and acted accordingly when need be.
I'm not
But
about to. I'm not about to give no more pushback about his dress code.
we need a new topic because I think our chat is like
No, we
first
about
day of
to.
practice. We're
It's
talking about
over.
no shirt.
It's over. It's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know it was that big, but I see what you guys are saying. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go until the. Because I was going to go to Kirk Cousins, his presser. But I wanted to make sure that we got to Max because he is on the thumbnail. So that's why I did him first. Did his presser first because that sounded kind of weird. I did him first, but anyway.
Oh, we ain't listening to my
So
cousin.
yesterday, Coach Kubiak essentially said that going into practice today, don't be shocked because Kirk Cousins is going to be the QB1. What are you guys' overarching feelings about that? And you guys can address that one at a time. I'm gonna go with you first, Pizzle, because you are kind of you've been telling people as long as I have. What was the day? April 3rd when we first came out and said this. And so I want you to get the first crack at it to express your thoughts about it.
Well, I wasn't really surprised that that they named him going to be the starter and be running with the ones the most. I mean, you'd have to be kind of like not willing to hear what they've been saying this whole offseason, about not starting Mendoza and all this other stuff. Kubiak still wants to come in and try and have a successful first season. And the only way he's going to do that is by having a veteran quarterback come in and happens to be a winning quarterback too. Probably the best quarterback that we've had in the last 5 years. And
No, ain't no probably.
And yeah, no, for sure. And he's got potential. And so, I'm not saying that Fernando Mendoza doesn't potentially have more upside than Kirk Cousins, but at this point in time, he's not ready and he's not going to be ready. So why rush it?
Right. Yeah. Let me see. Jason, how you feeling?
Well, day one for a 16-year veteran, or 16 years versus he's the number one pick. I get it, but he's still a 16-year veteran. So day one, he's gonna be the starter today. But that can change after the Houston scrimmage. Only time will tell, right? He's going to have to earn a position. Fernando's got to earn a position. It's not just going to get. There's no anointing him the position just because he's the number one pick. He's going to have to go out and earn it. At least he's going to have to pull it away from Kirk Cousins. That's what he's going to have to do.
Hello. You know what? I don't know if I can have a take because I've been saying this since I don't know how long, and I hate to say I was right again. Like and I'm waiting because again, this is day one, and we heard for those that haven't watched the whole press conference, make sure you watch the whole thing. But I'm really waiting on Clint Kubiak to go up there and say, can you guys please stop asking me all these questions about a third string quarterback? Because that's actually what he is.
Yep.
And as much as we, as much as some of you guys may love him and whatever, I mean, your fetish is your fetish. But with that being said, he's the third quarterback on this roster. So it goes back to what I said on the last live. There's no way that Clint Kubiak knew that we had the number 1 pick overall and knew that we were going to get Mendoza, and he still, the first order of business he did was to bring in Kirk Cousins and not expect that he's going to not be a starter for us. Come on now, like let's think about this. Like, really think about it. I know some of you guys are enamored with it. Hey, I'm excited that we got, we excited we got a new quarterback, blah, 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 blah. Cool. But let's look at the business. There is no way that we brought over Kirk Cousins just to have him be a backup quarterback. So just let we're here for the slow burn.
Yeah, well, you know what? Who know what these means? Remember, I told y'all when I put these on, these are the I told you so's. Because I don't want to keep telling y'all I told you so's, but when I put these on, that means I told you so. Like, just like Twan said, like, come on, man. Like, the writing been on the wall for the longest time. Matter of fact, if you ever been in the town, even the U.S. mail trucks, they all got tatted up. They all got spray paint on them, looking like a subway in Harlem somewhere. Like, it's been everywhere that Kirk Cousins, they wouldn't have brought him in if they were not going to have him start. If Clint Kubiak wasn't confident that he was going to be the starter. Now, in OTAs, if he would have lost velocity on his passes and got absent-minded or started hitting the wall, then it would be addressed accordingly. But that's not what the situation is right now. And respectfully, I don't think a practice or any preseason game is going to usurp that. I don't care how well Mendoza plays in the offseason. He can go for 600 yards, 6 touchdowns, and what was the other stat? And no interceptions, and he still ain't gonna start, y'all. Although that's never been done. That would be the greatest 3-game preseason stretch, better than Tyler. What was that guy name in Miami? Tyler Huntley or something like that. He threw for 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he was the seventh round quarterback, but he did get on the team. And then Tua got hurt, and Teddy Two Gloves got injured, so he went in. And that man went in there and threw like 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions, and had like 300 yards, 400 yards over the course over 7 games, and started like 2 or 3 games because preseason does not translate automatically into the regular season. So I've been seeing this. I don't want to keep beating the drum on the I told you so's, but I am going to wear my I told you so's while Kirk Cousins tell us what's on his mind right now. Let's see.
I like that Raider shirt he's got on.
Always helps that, but
oh my God. You like that Raider shirt he wearing? Why?
Yeah.
And
I
for
like
yourself.
Why I actually do like the shirt. It has nothing to do with the press
I'm the only guy in the locker room with like 2 other people, and I'm like,
no, that shirt is nice though. All right, here we go.
we had our summer break, and now it's time to get to work. Good first practice. Guys had great energy, good spirit. We're ready to go. I was in the locker room at practice starts at 7:30. It was probably like 7:10, and like I'm the only guy in the locker room with like 2 other people, and I'm like, do I need to be somewhere? But it's just because everybody's so ready to go, ready to work, and that's the way you want it. So everybody's out in the field, ready to go. So take any questions you have.
What did you feel like the retention level was? Clint mentioned that you don't want to throw away what you've done in OTAs and mandatory minicamp when you get here.
Yeah, I think it's still early. It's the first day, and I think the coaches, didn't try to overload us too much. So that retention level's got to continue in the days ahead. But good first start. Guys, handled snap counts and formations and motions and getting lined up and handling their assignment pretty well.
Clint pretty definitively named you the starter. Just kind of what does it mean to you to have that opportunity and have that confidence from the coaching staff?
Yeah, I think in this league, it's kind of one day at a time. So you're only as good as your last throw, your last practice. So, you try to every day go out and earn that opportunity and never take anything for granted.
Kurt, what positively surprises you about this team? Maybe something coming in you thought differently, but positively.
I just really like the character of the guys in the locker room. I think it's high quality guys, high quality people. It would seem that our personnel staff has really emphasized the caliber of the person in the locker room. And that's the sense I get with the guys I'm with and just how on the details they are, how much football matters to them, the questions they ask. And that's been a real shot in the arm for me as an older player to kind of see a lot of young guys who are acting like veterans.
Clint also said that he wanted Fernando to push you as the starter. How do you see that play? I mean, how do you portray that to mean?
I think that's pro football. I think every day we go out there, we all try to work together, raise the standard every day for one another. I think every position group, we're all competing. I just think that's the world we've lived in, even going back to college, is they're going to put as many good players in a room as they can and see who can come out as the guy who's taking the spot to play. But we're all kind of then supporting one another and working together. So that's just the journey we've always been on, and it's pretty much the norm.
In a similar vein, Kurt, talking to Fernando, he said you guys in that room, you're not competing against each other, you're competing with each other.
Yeah, it's with, yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I think just what I just said, you're just kind of always trying to ask good questions, help one another, challenge one another, and raise the standard, and have fun competing, because competition is fun, and so have fun doing that together, and I think that's what it'll always be.
How do you hope to grow this season?
Well, I want to grow always as a person in my leadership, in my resolve. This league, this season, you're going to get punched in the mouth at some point, and so being able to get back up. Really be able to stay positive, really bring great energy every day, and not ride a roller coaster, but just kind of be the same guy every day, no matter what happens around you. I think that's something you can always get better at. And that any football season is going to really test that in you.
Have you always been that guy to bring that much energy, or did that develop later in your career? When did that happen?
I think I've always kind of been pretty spirited and competitive at practice and kind of have like a little inner fire. Sometimes I can be relatively calm, but if you rattle the cage, then maybe you'll see a little different guy. So sometimes it's good then to get my cage rattled, because it brings out the best in me.
What can you learn about the offensive line before you go to pads?
Before we go to pads, well, I think we're still getting good work with hand placement, and guys are having to ID things and target it properly. You also just have snap counts. You have urgency in and out of the huddle. You got conditioning, and you still have a pocket you got to work through. And sometimes the rush may not be as realistic without pads in both directions, but it still gives you something to work off of.
Is there something new that you're implementing this season for yourself?
Well, I think for me, the new is really the external, in the sense of new teammates, a somewhat new system. I'm getting moved into a house. Like, there's just a lot of new as far as learning your way around this facility, this culture, how things need to be done here. I think for me, you kind of over time learn what works for you. You're always trying to fine tune your game. You're always trying to make better decisions with the football, manage the game better. But at the same time, you don't want to reinvent the wheel too much either, and trust, what got you here.
Okay. Mr. Captain Kirk, he looked like the Captain Morgan guy. Like, all he needs to do is put his leg up and stand on the podium. So what do you guys thoughts about Captain Kirk? What do you guys overall thoughts about him at this point?
I'll wait.
Well, I think he's just blanketing answers. Those are rehearsed answers that he probably says pretty much every year or whatever. I want to be a better leader. I want to do this. I want to do that. And, I'm sure you want to grow as a person every year and do all that. But, basically he's ready to go in there. He looks like he's ready to go in there and win 5, 6, 7 games straight, if we're lucky. At least get at least 3 straight. Shit.
Yeah, let's go.
We ain't won at least 4. We ain't won 4 games since when? Since 2018.
Yeah, it was 2018 season, I think. Well, I would think we looked it up like 2019 or something like that.
We ain't won 4 games straight in almost a decade. What the hell's going on?
Who was the quarterback?
Well, that's what does that make the difference?
So I don't remember.
That
That's a
was
good question. Tar.
Well,
So Ray Flores says that
we get into
Kirk
that
Cousins
too if you
didn't
want.
sound super excited. Kirk Cousins didn't sound super excited. A little phony, but upbeat energy. Are you guys feeling that or no?
That looked like typical Kirk Cousins to me.
Yeah, it looked like he just knew that he was going to be the starter. Like that he looks confident to me. Like to me. So what do you think about Captain Kirk?
I like him. I'm glad we picked him up, and I'm glad the situation that we're in. That it behooves us to do it the right way. It just does. We've tried several other ways. This is the right way. Captain Kirk he's 39 years old. He's not our franchise quarterback. We know that, right? I mean, I wish we had an incumbent quarterback that we can draft another one to sit and let the incumbent finish out his career that he started with us, but that's not the case. But bringing him in this situation where he knows the offense just as good as anybody else, and that helps the other players on the team as well that have to learn the offense. The tackles, the center, the running back, the wide receivers, the tight ends, and a coach having confidence that when he calls a play or he calls a series of plays, that he knows that the guy that's out there on the field already knows it. He's been through it. He's battle tested in that sense, and it allows the most important. And some people miss this, but it's very important we have to develop the rest of the team as well. So if we just threw Fernando out there because he's the number 1 pick and that's who we want to see, and trial by fire, he's going to learn trial by fire. Well, what about the other guys? Are they going to develop? Are they going to get better? So it helps to have a veteran like that to come in and set the tone, and then Fernando can pick up the pieces as he's going. Because the quarterback position is different than the other positions when you're the number 1 pick. If you're number 1 left tackle, or you're number 1 cornerback, or number 1 running back, or number 1 wide receiver drafted, now you have to learn how to tackle, break tackles, and your vision and your ability to catch up to the speed of the game is different than what the quarterback is going to be. The quarterback's got so much other stuff that he's got to worry about to get better at, to perfect. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to. I mean, if they decide, hey, you know what, he's ready enough, we're just going to throw him out there, then great. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer to this, believe it or not. And that's not a chicken shit way of putting it. Everybody has, I hear Vinny Bonsignor says, he needs to be out there. He needs to get the reps. He's the franchise quarterback. He needs to get the reps. But so does Genty. Genty needs to understand his offense as well. Brock Bowers needs to understand his offense well. So to have a quarterback that's already played in this offense to come in, and then they can get the concepts and get up to speed, then you can bring the quarterback in when he's up to speed with them. I hope that makes sense.
No, yeah, it's a team thing. This is not the Las Vegas Mendoza's, or it's not even the Las Vegas Cousins or Cousin Las Vegas or whatever. But so you got to get the team up to speed. So I mean, because we could put a quarterback out there and he's ready, and the team isn't. The team still isn't ready. Then that's what it boils down to. And well, I like Kurt Kaina. I like that. I might borrow that circus raider. I like that if you don't mind. He said he's the best option to start. Willie Wayne said he gets us to the playoffs. That's a win in itself. Yeah. I mean, being that we deficient in that area. So enough of that. Just I want to ask you guys one last question. Vidi Vidi Vici. The guy that the D tackle that we want. What is the percentage you think that we get Vita? What I want to know what percentage you guys think that we actually sign him, and if we do, what will it mean to the nation? Let me go with you first, my brother.
I'm
No
probably
pressure,
the one
Twan.
that has the hardest.
Wake up over there.
Hey, I'm trying to sleep, trying to find a number. You know
A
what I'm
sleep
saying?
number?
What is my sleep number?
I'm ready if you're not. I'm ready if you're not.
I don't have a number. I really don't have a number. I have all the things that line him up to us. You know what I'm saying? Milpitas, you know what I'm saying? So people don't know what that is. That's the Bay Area. Milpitas, right next to San Jose. You know what I'm saying? He has some Oakland Raider ties. Spy Tech tie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not confident at who we have at nose. You know what I'm saying? And that's Benito. And bringing him over is, I think we need to. I think it would benefit our team on a whole lot of ways. You have an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator that's trying to establish his defense. Bringing a guy that can anchor the middle of your D line. I'll say 60%.
Okay. Coming in hot.
Oh shit! Hey, so yeah, I think it's probably about, because we already made an offer, so they've probably been talking all day today too on a counter offering or whatever. You know, I'm thinking it's more a little bit higher than what Twan says. I'm a little bit more in. I'm more into like 80%, maybe a little more, maybe 82.5%. On him coming over here, I think it would definitely elevate so just the whole organization, not just the defense, but and it would actually help us start winning a lot sooner. You know, because a dominant guy like that coming up the middle and being like the best run stopper, nose tackle in the league, right? And then also, being able to push the offensive line back and keep the quarterback from stepping up. These are all key things that we need to do to be successful in the defense. So I think it would be awesome for him to be able to come over here and reunite with Spy Tech and the Raider Nation.
To put a number on it, I'm 100% all in. We should. Whether or not it happens is a different story, because there's two parts to this. One, is Tampa Bay willing to move off of him? Because they only have him under contract for this year, and that's it. Then he hits the free agent market. So, and they are nowhere near re-signing Baker Mayfield. And they've got some youth on that team as well, as long as some aging veterans that they might need to part ways with as well. So it's ultimately the decision is going to be on Tampa Bay, what they want to do. I can tell you this: Spy Tech, if Vita Vea is available for trade, Spy Tech is going to make a trade to get him. I think when you say the only team that I can think of that can trump us is Chicago. I think they're the only ones that could probably beat us to the punch on that. If the Chargers decide they want to throw their hat in the ring, or somebody else, then it's going to be a bidding war. But I think if Vita Vea does become available for trade, or is available for trade, and rumors are there's been conversations already, now you have to consider this: the team has to open him up available for trade before anybody can do it. You just can't pick up the phone and start, hey, you want to trade that guy? You start moving into that tampering world. But 100% all in if we do it, because just like Pizzle said, it's only going to make our team that much better. Antoine as well. It only is going to make our team that much better today, but it also is going to provide a foundation for when he does start to age out. He's still got 3-4 good years left in him. I mean, he's going to be 32 years old. That cat still can play ball, at defensive tackle. His sideline to sideline pursuit, his ability to control the A gap he's top 10, if not top 5 at his position. And he's only being paid half of what Jalen Carter just got. So I'm sure he's going to want some more money. But from what I understand, is a minor extension with some decent guarantees would be all that all it takes is to make him happy. It's just you don't have to give him a big bag, but something that will satisfy him with guarantees, because that's where he's at right now. He doesn't have any guarantees. And oh, by the way, today he mysteriously tweaked something. We don't know what it is. Just
let's see. So the question is, how much do we have in cap space? We have $14 million in cap space. I think the percentage of us getting him is probably like about 65%. No more than 70. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, because I know if we do get him, that's going to change the game. That's going to change a lot of things for us. But that usually don't happen to us. But the things that usually don't happen to us actually happen this offseason. We got the best player in college football. We got the best available coach that was available. We got the best center out there, or at least the top 2 center, the best number 1 free agent out there. So we got Jamon McCoy, because I don't know if people knew or not, because once that 4th round started cracking, teams was going to start gambling on him. They just didn't want to give him so much guaranteed money, not knowing how long he was going to play. So the 4th round was where franchises felt comfortable with negotiating him at. So at that 4th round, they were gonna start jumping into that fire. So I give it 65%. I hope we do get it. He said he wanted to either go to California team or the Raiders. I'm loving the fact that the Raiders is now a destination place. We do have a bunch of upside with it, and Vegas also has Nevada no state tax. So Vita, bring your ass. So that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Now, my question to you guys, last question, and I appreciate everybody that's hacking in. I only got 10 likes on my channel. Can we get that up to like 12 or 13, please? Pretty please. And also get the likes up for Raider Twine and Pizzle as well. What are you willing to give up for him? I'll go first, and I'll say, look, we can give him Adam Butler, a 3rd and a 5th, if that's what it takes to get him here. I'm with that. So, Pizzle, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm willing to give him a 3rd and a 5th too. I don't know about Adam Butler, but yeah, he is aging out too. But we're gonna have to make room for him somewhere. So yeah, I definitely think that I'd definitely be willing to give up a 3rd and a 5th though. I think he's definitely worth that. He's an established player, and I don't see anything wrong with that.
2027 3rd round pick and a conditional 2028 4th round pick that could be a 3rd round pick. That would probably lock the deal up right there. And then we'd have to absorb some of the dead money. That's where a lot of people miss out on that. Do we absorb some of the dead money? I'm sure Tampa Bay is going to want us to take a portion of that dead money.
Yeah.
Because he wants out. Spytek is definitely going to be in a position where he can play ball. And they're in a position where they either they get draft capital from him now, or he's going to be gone anyway. So that's the situation. It's similar to not in value wise, but the same scenario as Tyree Wilson with us, where Tyree Wilson was on his way out. So you pretty much had to get what you can get before, you know what I'm saying, you ain't getting anything at all. And that's what you're gonna run into with Tyree. I said a third and a fifth, because I already had in the mind that we were gonna have to take in some of that, money wise. Um, but Spytech can definitely play ball with that, because we're gonna have to take on his money, and also they're in a situation of desperation where, you know, either they get draft capital or he can be in a situation where he just sits out. If he's, if he's really that disgruntled over there with them. So yeah, but I'm saying the third and the fifth. I said that earlier before, and I'll just stay right there.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I mean, they'll make you. They can make you sit, but teams usually don't do that if you're disgruntled because you're going to make waves in the locker room, and then you got to do the DC thing and tell you don't come to the building and all that, and that's weird. Uh, and so I don't know. I think something's going to happen. I just don't know where because we might get into a bidding war with the Niners. Now the question is, do we want to be a Niner or if you want to be a Raider? The question, Justice for Forrest says, speaking of Dramon, how much are they signing him for? So he got a 4-year rookie contract, estimated at 5.7 million. That includes a $1.33 million signing bonus. And D Menace is in the building
What's
putting
up,
up
D Menace?
he's putting up each other everybody's channel, which I appreciate. D
Yep.
Menace, you are the
Menace.
best. You are the best, D Menace, for sure. You don't even know. Yeah, we're gonna spin off now. I do like that we have people in the chat, and I've been trying to break through this algorithm because ever since I was monetized, they're recalibrating the channel, so the reach hasn't been getting out like it normally has, and it's starting to get there again. So I would love to thank you guys for that. I appreciate you. We appreciate you guys for hacking into the show. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the loyalty. And there's only one nation, that's the Raider Nation.
Absolutely.
And so with that being said, I'm a Raider, he a Raider, he a Raider, you a Raider, from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. And if do any of you guys have anything, yeah, matter of fact, yeah, shout your channel out, man, and I'm gonna have Twan close out for us.
Yeah, so my channel, I didn't link up the show on my channel on this one. I just jumped in. My channel is Raiders #1 ST Downs for Raiders First Downs. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm getting close, getting there to where I can start to monetize. Just need a little bit more. Saturday nights, we have Raider Nation Voices with myself and 401_Raider Jeff. It's a phone-in show Saturday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call in instead of playing on the virtual keyboard on your phones. Just dial the number, call in, and we can chop it up over the telephone. That shows sometimes we've had some epic shows. I mean, 80, 90, 100 viewers on at one time in the chat.
Nice.
And it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it with Jeff. We've built a good friendship. So yeah, so if just subscribe to my channel and come on in on Saturday night, and if you got what it takes, call in, have a take, don't suck, because we'll dump your ass if you got a shitty take.
All right. So I'm Pizzle4420. Hit me up. Hit the like button. I've been doing this for a few years, and you guys see me around plenty. So,
I want to try that Camaro.
Come check it out. Yeah, I bet.
I want to light it up next to my Chevelle. See what we could do.
Oh yeah, what year's your Chevelle?
It's a 71. It's 434 cubic inch small block, turbo 400, shift 3. So just motor, no power adders, but motor dyno 633.
Nice. Yeah, I'm putting 600 at the tire in this, and I'm running just a 355 small block.
Yeah, I love
With the
small
Muncie
blocks.
M22. I
Yeah.
got a Liberty Gears Muncie M22 Rock Crusher in it.
Oh, I love the sound of that thing when you
It whines a lot. It's a whiner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. For me, yeah, so next Friday we're going to start the Fight or Flight Club, which is going to be a debate show where I'm appreciating a lot of our content creators, our smaller content creators are going to get. We're gonna put ourselves on since the upper echelon is not looking our way and we're not on their level yet. So we're going to just support each other. It's going to be heated, but it's going to be very respectful. It's going to be structured. It's not going to be ghetto. It's not going to be a whole bunch of shenanigans. It's not going to be you're going to attack the argument, not the person, and all that other stuff. So I'm looking forward to that, and I've been getting positive feedback about that. So look for that because we will be going promoting that for the rest of this week and then next week too. So make sure you guys subscribe to these channels because we're going to link all our channels together and we're going to get ourselves out there and have fun this Raider season because things are definitely changing now and it's a difference. And I would like for Raider Twan to close us out.
Hey, y'all, Raider Twan on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. If you have not, you know what I'm saying, if you want to help me out, you know what I'm saying, play my playlist that's on my channel. You know what I'm saying? Just let that thing run. You know what I'm saying? If you can, help me get to the goal that I'm trying to get to. So help me do that by going to Raider Twan. If you, first of all, subscribe. But then if you are already subscribed, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and hit the playlist in my channel and let that thing just run. My word to you guys, and Black, that's what you want, right?
Yes, sir. You know how we do it.
So my word to you is embrace the silence.
Mm-hmm.
Embrace the silence. Sometimes there is, you know, we get so busy with life, you know, work, whatever, all the things that we're going through, and we miss the messages that we receive in silence. You know, that time when you're alone, you know, it could be that quiet night, you know what I'm saying, that 4 a.m, you know what I'm saying, that you're up and you're just in silence. Listen to the silence. And I guarantee you that you'll find that if you take moments to have those silent moments where you're alone or just the silent moments in itself, that you'll learn some things about yourself and also the things around you. So it's okay to be in alone at times, and it's okay to be in the silence because those are the times that you'll get the things you need to learn. So embrace the silence.
I'm a raider from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Recipes to Al Davis.